Hello and welcome. Welcome to SAC Season 7, Tournament 2. I am one of your casters today, Rice, and would my co-caster like to introduce themselves?
Hello, I am Lucky, and I'm very excited to be casting with Rice over here.
Yeah, and our first match today will be Secret Elixir versus Persistence. Uh, Lucky, do you have any information on these teams?
No, these two teams are actually very new to me, but I am excited to see how both of them will play.
Yeah, so I know a little more about Secret Elixir than Persistence, but I know Persistence has been a team that's filled with a lot of veterans. I recognize Stormy. And for Secret Elixir, they recently got Low Ink banned. They were actually unable to play the last Low Ink because they got banned in the middle of Proving Grounds one time.
Oh, that's interesting, actually. That's nice to know. We see that we currently have these three maps: Tower Control on Hagglefish Market, Rainmaker on Museum D'Alfonso, and Clamblitz on Manta Maria. Rice, how do you feel about this?
These are some great maps to be starting off with. The first map, Power Control on Hagglefish Market. Uh, Great map for any team that likes running a backline, especially probably like an E-leader or ballpoint right now, especially because it's very popular. Um, the tower moves sort of in like a zigzag way towards you when the first checkpoint is gonna be on that right corner by the flanks. So the defending team has a bit of time to set up on that tent area to try to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and let's
And
get started.
we see that team SC Twig or not SC, but we see that they have a shooter comp right now, and there's a sniper with and persistence.
Yeah, Persistence going with the ZNF Charger. That's gonna be very strong on the tents. And with Secret Elixir running a triple shooter comp with the Slosher, what do you think we'll expect to see here?
Well, we're definitely gonna see, definitely a lot of backline on the tower. Just trying to focus on getting off whoever's on tower. We see Crab Tank going on the tower right now, but popping off, and a wall coming up from the gal.
Yeah, and we see Persistence going 2 down and Secret Elixir taking advantage, just trying to push as far up as they can. We can see Twig is already on their plat trying to contest them.
Twig did an amazing job pushing them back with those ink strikes, seeing as they think they got two ink strikes. Crab Tank comes out with Twig getting a nice pick off right there and throws up the wall to try to push away that Crab Tank.
Yeah, Twig putting on a lot of pressure, even making that Crab Tank roll away, just making it so they can't contest tower. And we see a Crab Tank coming out from Secret Elixir riding the tower.
Um, Secret Elixir is doing a great job in just putting on very heavy pressure on Persistence, but as we see, they are getting pushed back by their sniper and I think their sloshing machine.
Yeah, we can see here Secret Elixir went 3 down and Persistence just still trying to get back into mid, but no, Persistence going 2 down and Secret Elixir just being ready to push the tower once again.
We see ink strikes coming out from Sota doing that amazing job of just pushing Persistence back. The sloshing machine tries to get off a pick, but does get a pick with the fizzy bomb and the crap thing coming out on Jaren's.
Yeah, and we can see Secret Elixir's on this third checkpoint. If they can get past this, there's no more checkpoints for a second time they push. We can see that they're trying to get the checkpoint.
Ooh, sadly that is 2 down from Secret Elixir, and Persistence is now just trying to get that push back that Secret Elixir had with the crab tank coming out on Stormy, doing a great job on putting pressure on Secret Elixir.
Yeah, and we can see that Secret Elixir got all 3 checkpoints from that 1 or 2 push that they did. If they ever do go back for another push, they don't need to stop at any checkpoints. Now let's see if Persistence can get to at least the first checkpoint. But we see Twig just pushing in uncontested and just getting picks when they need it.
Oh, I think that is That's one down, and we see Stormy coming in, but has to be pushed back. And Twig is just doing a great job on sneaking and getting the right kills. We see that the Sashi machine is going down to the Gal.
Yeah, and we can see Persistence putting that crab tank on tower, just trying to push that forward. But they go down, they lose the Stamper that was trying to push up, and Secret Elixir just trying to come back to this checkpoint to contest it.
They're now currently past checkpoint 1. A Booyah Bomb comes out, but same with the triple Ink Strike, getting 1 kill with it, which is very nice to see. And now the T-Tech is just trying to create some mid space.
Yeah, we can see the crab tank coming out from Secret Elixir and the T-Tech moving up with the space the crab tank made.
And now we see that they are doing an amazing job on pushing into Persistent space to create space for them. They're just currently riding tower now, trying to get some kills. Triple Ink Strike comes out, but the sniper does get a kill on the Gal.
Yeah, but Persistence going 2 down. Secret Elixir might be 1 down, but this is good for them because they can just keep pushing the tower and they get a crab tank out.
Ooh, these triple Ink Strikes are very useful and they just keep coming out and out. And that is a Wipeout and game.
Yeah, Secret Elixir just putting on so much pressure. Whenever they had advantage, you always saw Twig going in first and making sure that they hold space on the plat while everyone else is pushing tower.
They did very good on just putting, very much heavy pressure on Persistence, and Persistence couldn't really push out on them because they always either had triple Ink Strikes or crab tank out.
Yeah, and we know that the triple Ink Strikes makes pretty good cover for the 52 gal. So each time those went out, I'm sure Twig with the 52 gal just moved in onto plat and just like contested as much space as they could while Persistence was running away from the strikes.
I completely agree. Now we see that we're going into Rainmaker Museum d'Alfonso. What kind of comp do you think they're going to be running on here?
I feel like Secret Elixir might just stick with their comp. They had the double triple Ink Strike. Wow, that's a mouthful. They had 2 sets of triple Ink Strikes that game, and also which is very good to clear a path for the Rainmaker. So they might stick with that, but that can always change. And I'm not sure Persistence will stick with the CNF Charger. It's a little tough on Rainmaker, but it is always a good choice.
I think that they might, just because I feel as the sniper is really good on a map like Museum d'Alfonso, because it's a very open map, so it leaves like a lot of open space for a sniper to try to get as many shots off as they can.
Yeah, and on this map, we might see people trying to take that sneaky flank on that right side. And we can see that Twig actually going to the vanilla spatter shot instead, and the Charger going to ballpoint. And we see that Secret Elixir gets the first pop, but they're just still trying to find a space to push up while Persistence is doing a good job contesting mid. We see the first crab tank come out from Jarens, but 2 down from each side, and Secret Elixir looks like they're trying to make a push. And yeah, it's just the ballpoint left on Persistence, and Secret Elixir is starting to push up and actually picking up the Rainmaker. And we see that Persistence, they're all back now, and they stopped the Rainmaker. But is the Rainmaker gonna get checked? They stopped him right before they can get the checkpoint. And Persistence just trying to play that defense.
That was a very unfortunate kill right there, but that is a nice lead of 60. We see that now they're clearing some space with their Fizzy Bomb, and sadly gets killed right before the Booyah Bomb comes out.
Yeah, and we see 2 down from each side, but Secret Elixir having the advantage of spawn.
The Rainmaker gets killed right there, getting close to checkpoint.
Yeah, but we see Persistence keeping up the pressure, holding the spinner area of Secret Elixir and just pushing them back as much as they can.
Now we see that the ballpoint is coming in with picking up Rainmaker, just getting close, but sadly gets killed by the Trizuka.
Yeah, and that Trizuka gets, I believe, 2 kills. If not, they got the Rainmaker, but the V-Shot goes down, and the Rainmaker running for it, but they don't get it.
We see that now Secret Elixir is trying to create some space, trying to push him away, Persistence, but the T-Tech does end up going down to the Stamper, and now Slosher is just trying to get that Stamper right there with, I think those are called, I'm not sure what that ultimate's called, but he's doing a great job right now, just trying to create space for his team.
Yeah, the Zipcaster going in, they weren't using it to get kills, but just using it as a distraction to make Secret Elixir look at them and just giving Persistence some space in mid.
Right now we see that no one's really going for the Rainmaker, and now they're just trying to create space in mid for their team. Also seeing as there's only one person in mid right now, but we see Slosher's trying now to pop that bubble.
Yeah, we can see both Persistence and Secret Elixir trying to build up their specials, using specials to go in. But we see one Craft Tank, and we see the Zipcaster, but the Zipcaster actually goes down.
Craft Tank is now coming out, I think creating space for their team, and now is going in with the Rainmaker, with Trizuka helping them. That's 1 kill with the Trizuka, which is very nice to see, and Inkjet coming out too.
Yeah, that's actually 3 down for Persistence. Oh, it's actually a delayed wipe, so Secret Elixir is gonna get this checkpoint, and probably a little more if they keep up the pressure.
We see Twiggas right now just, trying to wait for them to come up and gets a kill. But sadly dies to ballpoint right there. Craptech is also coming out, pushing away Secret Elixir, but they still seem to have Rainmaker, and as I say that, they lose Rainmaker.
Although they might have lost Rainmaker, they do have the numbers advantage. They took 2 down there, and I'm sure they're just waiting for a good time to pick it up and push forward.
Now Soda has Rainmaker right now, just waiting for the perfect moment to run in, but sadly dies, and that's a wipeout on Secret Elixir.
Yeah, let's see if Persistence move as fast as they can. You can see the Stampers are ready on Secret Elixir's plot, just trying to make space for their team.
We see Croptic coming out from the splash, and I think that's a kill. Stamper is just going in, and sadly dies right there, or Inky dies with the Rainmaker right there.
Yeah, we can see Soda playing good defense, just waiting for the Rainmaker to get there, but Soda goes down to the Booyah Bomb.
Just before Soda dies, they made sure to get a kill with the Rainmaker pop. We see that now the sloshing machine is just, trying to clear as much mid space, and is going in through the side, throwing up some ink right there, trying to get that ink T-Sec right there.
Yeah, we can see all of Secret Elixir is in mid right now. They're trying to take as much space as they can, and they get 2 down, and with the Crab Tank making space on their plot, they have a chance to push this.
We see that now the Rainmaker is just trying to go in as far as they can. Their team is helping them try to make space to go through. They're getting so close, and with 8 seconds on the board, will they be able to make a lead just right before?
You need to be careful of this Crab Tank, but no, the Crab Tank... Actually, no, it's the machine. But the Crab Tank was there for defense and Persistence, able to hold out on this second game against Secret Elixir.
This now leaves the game 1-1, and that was a very close game for Secret Elixir. They were just right there before they could have made that lead.
Yeah, but Persistence, as their name was persistent on defense. After they took that first lead, they always made sure they had someone on plat to defend the Rainmaker, or just have someone there to hold their ground.
I think that the Stamper did a really good job with him pushing into their enemy base with their I'm not sure what the ultimate is called, but they use their ultimate really well to be able to go in and just kill whoever is in there and get great picks on there.
Yeah, the Stamper just being as pesky as they could. The special is actually called Zipcaster, but I know a lot of people just call it Spider-Man. Yeah, but like the Stamper just being able to be as aggressive as they could just made Secret Elixir have to look at them when they were either in their Zipcaster or just pushing up onto plat.
We are now going into Clan Blitz for Mansa Maria, and once again I'm going to ask you, what kind of comps do you think they might run on this map?
I think both teams might just stick with the same comp that they just ran. Ballpoint is really strong on Manta Maria, especially on those graded areas. And Sloshers are really strong on Manta as well, just being able to throw ink over the walls and contest anyone that's just trying to shark there.
Yeah, and I think this Stamper might also be really good for a blocky map like this. It's easier for them to hide between the sides and go, and it's also really easy to get into within the enemy base. Also, such as Clan Blitz.
Yeah, Clam Blitz, we're gonna have to keep in mind of clam economy. When each team is pushing, we have to notice how many clams each team has, and if they have enough to sustain a long push.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see though how these teams might go onto Manta Maria and how their comps might either differ or stay the same.
Yeah, we saw that the first game that Secret Elixir was just able to keep up pressure, but second game, Persistence was able to hold their ground. And going into the third game, we see that Twig going back to their 52 gal and Persistence sticking with the comp that they just used.
Yeah, this comp does definitely make a lot of sense with the Booyah Bomb and Inkjet, so I think this might be a good comp for them to be able to do with Clan Blitz, but also staying in with Clan Calming. We see one already goes down on Team Persistence, and that's two, and one goes down on Secret Elixir.
Yeah, but we can see that Crafting actually getting 2 kills, and Secret Elixir has space to move in on.
This is Inkshirts coming out on the T-Tech, and they already have football just getting ready to push in, but that Stamper is just going in and throwing in, the little swipes, and we see the Splash is jumping back because they need a team, to come in and push in with.
Yeah, that was a really smart play by the Splash. Seeing that three down on their team, just exiting out, being able to hold whatever charge they have of their crab tank. But we see now Persistence back in mid, trying to contest Secret Elixir's bunker, but being pushed out from that crab tank.
You see that they're currently at mid space, and I think they have 12 right now, so they just need one person to throw it to them. Oh, but sadly dies right as they're getting close. That Splash kills the other Splash, and the Slasher is just now trying to go for that T-Tech.
Now we see Stormy taking a very aggressive position as a Splash-O-Matic, being able to set up that crab tank in a very strong position on the left side of the map.
He is just getting ready to, is creating, that ink for them to throw in, and they get it they broke the barrier, and they're just throwing clams in, while Secret Elixir is just trying to stop them.
Yeah, but we see that 3 down go on Persistence and Secret Elixir back in mid. But the ballpoint, actually no, the ballpoint went down, and Persistence is still on respawn right now.
Secret Elixir has a lot of good mid space right now, and is trying to go for that Stamper, and gets the kill on the Stamper too. Now I think Jeremy is trying to get his team to jump to them. Oh, but dies right before.
Yeah, we saw that Jaren's got into a really nice position, but just unable to capitalize on the kill that they got on the Stamper.
Now they're throwing out the T-Tech is throwing out Ink Strikes, and they're trying to get rid of that wall for Persistence, but T-Tech still has the football right now, and they're just trying to get kills in so they can push.
Yeah, we see that Stamper and Midge gonna probably go after the T-Tech. Oh no, but they go down in their Zipcaster, and that's actually 2 down for Persistence. Secret Elixir has a good chance to push up here.
Oh, but that Crab Tank might just stop them right before. Oh, but an opposite Crab Tank comes out to counter it, and they break the barrier.
Yeah, Jaren's using that Crab Tank in a really, really good position, being able to shred the other Crab Tank, but Jaren's just retreating, knowing that it's the dead push now, and just trying to hold mid.
That was a nice lead of 62 coming in from Secret Elixir, and now Persistence has a free football, and the T-Tech gets another football too.
Yeah, and we see the Stamper going down. I don't know what they went down to. I'm gonna assume it's the Slosher. And we see that OBT with the V-Slosher pushing up into the street. And there's actually 3 of Secret Elixir in street, and they're just holding this space as much as they can.
They throw in another football and are 61 right now, and the Crab Tank is just doing a great job on pushing away Persistence so they can throw in more claims.
Yeah, we see Secret Elixir in a really strong position, but they actually go 2 down here. So they have to start playing defense while Persistence moves back into mid, trying to take as much control as they can.
See that I think that's the T-Tech that has another football. And Persistence is getting ready to push in with their counter football. Just that splat lane or that ball point is doing a great job on pushing the T-Tech away, and the Stamper coming in too, but dies right before they can use their Zip caster.
Yeah, we can see that the Stamper just trying to make as much space as they can, but always getting shut down by 2 on Secret Elixir. Now we see Secret Elixir pushing back into the Street of Persistence, and they might actually be able to take advantage of this.
I think Secret Elixir is getting ready right now to throw in their football right now. As soon as the Sloshing Sheep dies, and they throw in their football, and they currently have a lead of 25 right now, and they just threw in more claims too.
Yeah, they're actually able to get in 2 power clams while the rest of their team is just backing up. They're probably setting up for this defense in the last 15 seconds.
And right now they're just trying to, as you said, do defense right now because it's the last 4 seconds and they have an amazing lead of 22 right now. They just need to stop Persistence from throwing in any more footballs or clams.
Yeah, Persistence has 20 seconds of overtime to try to score one of their footballs, but actually one goes down, the machine goes down, and Secret Elixir just holding as much space as they can in mid.
Ooh, dies right before that they can pick up right back up the football. This gal is right now just doing an amazing job in getting kills, and that is game.
Yeah, we can see it that in this last game, Secret Elixir holding space, and just like that first game, being able to push up as aggressive as they can and take advantage of their space.
They did an amazing job on making sure that Persistence wasn't in their base for way too long. Like how when they first threw in the football, they made sure to get rid of them as fast as they could, and they were really good with mid space, with mid control, and they had really good pushes too.
Yeah, and Secret Elixir takes this set 2-1 against Persistence.
They both of the teams played amazingly, and it was very fun watching how each team played and which kind of comps they run on certain maps or modes.
Yeah, and then this will be the end of round 1, but we'll be taking a short break here. Stay tuned for our next match. Hello and welcome back. We're in group stage round 2. Our next matchup is Wipeout Punks versus Octopi. Lucky, do you have anything to say about these teams?
I really like what they did with Octopi. They put Octo and then they put the Pi symbol. I think that's very creative and that's very funny to me.
Yeah, similar to Secret Elixir, Octopi also has been a team that not recently banned from low ink, but they got banned, I believe, either 2 or 3 months ago, while Wipeout Punk has been a, I believe, Ludi Div 3 team last season.
That is that's actually very interesting.
Yeah, and those are not the maps we are gonna be playing, but I believe our first map will be Umami Ruins, Splat Zones on Umami Ruins. What do you think we'll be seeing here, Lucky?
I would definitely like to see a roller here. I think roller is very helpful on Umami Ruins splat zones because it's two splat zones. So, a roller would be very helpful to just be able to, ink up both of them.
Yeah, and on Umami Ruins, we might be able to see an E leader. Fingers crossed.
Any leader would be very interesting to see here. We see a ballpoint, that's interesting, and a roller, like I said, and another ballpoint.
Yeah, we see both sides going with the ballpoint, but one side with the Neo Splash and the other side with the Vanilla Splash-O-Matic.
Um, that is actually, that's very good because Splash-O-Matic, it's completely accurate no matter what, and also Crab Tank is, I wouldn't say meta right now, but it's still very good.
Yeah, and we see Wipeout, we see Wipeout Punks actually with a Anaki Nova going in for that double inkjet comp, while on the side of Octopi having that NZAP 85 with the Tacticooler.
Right now the Nova is doing good on using the long range to push back Octopi right now, and Wipeout Punks is just currently in control of spot zones, and they get lead too. We see a lot of inkjets coming out right now too, and they're doing a great job on just getting rid of the enemy team being too close.
Yeah, and we can see that Wipeout Punk is rotating their inkjets, making sure that once one is finished, they can have a second one online, ready to put pressure onto Octopi.
There was a trade between the Splash and the Wiper. Pika Lemon is now currently, well, was, creating that little plat right there, space. The Carbon is coming in and doing a great job on sharking and killing, and now just trying to get rid of whoever's else on the other spot zone.
Yeah, but they need to be careful about these respawns. Octopi with the Tacticooler, they're gonna be spawning in really fast, and you can already see they're back into the zone even though they just died.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job on jumping to each other to get back to zone really quickly. Wiper is now currently trying to make Wipeout Punks lose control of that right side spot zone. And they tried camping that ball point, but drop roll is, being very helpful right now.
Yeah, and we see that the ballpoint trying to contest that inkjet, but actually goes down, and a wipeout for Octopi, giving the win to Wipeout Punks in this first game.
It was a very fun game. It was a lot of back and forth with the inkjets, and it was very funny seeing a bunch of inkjets just flying around. And I think Octopi did a really good job on jumping to each other and getting back to zones quickly.
Yeah, but we also saw that although they had that quick respawn and the cooler, they were always down one, while Wipeout Punk was just holding zone as much as they can.
Yeah, and both teams were very good on. Well, Wipeout Punks was really good with when it comes to pushing in, and Octopi they had really good range too with their
Yeah,
weapons that they had.
yeah, definitely. Wipeout Punk's just holding space a lot better and being able to hold the zone a lot longer compared to Octopi. But what do you think we're gonna? Let me ask you this question this time, Lucky. What do you think we'll see on Tower Control Eeltail Alley?
I'm definitely expecting to see a sniper because snipers on E-tail alleys are very common, at least in my games, and they're I would say they're very effective too, especially with that middle part and being very high up, and also because it's tower control. So having a sniper on a tower control makes it easier to just kill off who's ever on the tower.
Yeah, but this is also a pretty good inkjet map, so we might still see the double inkjet coming out from Wipeout
Especially with the
Punks.
point, yeah.
Yes, indeed. Well, I guess we'll have to see what the comps are being ran right now. All right, and we see that actually yes, Octopi does go to the E leader, but Wipeout Punk sticking with the double inkjet.
That also makes sense because, you know, roller on tower control is also very effective too.
Yeah, we see the carbon roller sticking around, but actually Octopi going for the double splash, one vanilla splash-o-matic and one neo splash-o-matic.
Right now, I think that's Wipeout Punks is currently trying to create. Oh no, sorry. Octopi is creating space right now to get on tower, and they are on tower, getting past checkpoint 1 very quickly.
Yeah, we saw that Octopi getting the early numbers advantage, taking 2 down, and they're pushing it to the second checkpoint and maybe just trying to stall it there for a little bit.
Now currently they're still on. I don't know. Wait, I think they lost tower. Yeah, they lost tower now, and they took back. And now Wipeout Punks is currently on tower. Octopi is just trying to create back that mid space that they have, but that ballpoint is doing a really good job on pushing them away. And the inkjet comes out, but sadly dies to the ink mine. I think. Oh no,
Yeah, but yes, it was the burst bomb, but oh, the second inkjet gets sniped by that E leader. Potato on that E leader, ready to snipe down these inkjets.
Currently now, no one's really on tower. They're just trying to, you know, create space. That drop roll was very helpful because they almost just got sniped by the leader scopes. Inkstrike now coming out with Inkjet as well.
Yeah, and we can see that Octopi actually going 2 down here. They might have to start backing up and give up this checkpoint to Wipeout Punks.
Now Wipeout Punks is just trying to push away whoever's close enough to the tower. We see that the splash is now jumping to them, and Octopi loses lead, and now they're getting ready to go past checkpoint 2 right now with the splash-o-matic getting, you know, harassed by the triple ink strike.
Yeah, Octopi's in a bit of a stagger right now. Always at least having 1 down, but we can see that they're trying to recover at this top roof area. Now they have 4, and ready to hold that defense.
Ooh, Trizuka comes out and gets a double kill right there, I think. And now just, you know, pushing them away, and they get past checkpoint 3. Now they're just trying to, you know, get to the final point right there. Inkjet comes out right there, but Octopi comes in and they take the tower.
Yeah, Octopi being able to stop that tower almost at that last second, and they're pushing back into mid. Oh, but the the Wiper goes down.
Now we see that the Carbon is trying to shark right next to the tower and get the kill on whoever's on there. Nova is doing a great job on using the long range to create space, and I think they're about to pull out the inkjet right now. Or maybe not, and oh yep, there it is. And triple ink strike comes out too, and I hear a stamper too right there.
Yeah, but Wipeout Punk's actually going 2 down here, having Octopi having this number advantage and just trying to capitalize, but 1 goes down, and can they take this Nova out? The Nova's out, and there's only 1 left on Wipeout Punks.
Now Octopi is just riding tower to checkpoint 2, while the Wiper is trying to get rid of whoever's close enough and throws her stamper on whoever's on tower.
Yeah, and tower control is a very snowbally game mode. So Octopi still has a chance here. If they get past this second checkpoint and is able to get to this third checkpoint, they can keep this push going.
We see the the E-Leader scope is sadly killed by I think that's the Nova actually. No, that's the Neo Splash. The Neo Splash right there. And now the Splash is just going in, getting a bunch of picks off so that they can ride tower freely.
Yeah, Octopi unable to get to that third checkpoint. They got the second checkpoint, but there's only 45 seconds left of the match.
I think Wipeout Punks is doing a great job right now on pushing away Octopi so that they can't take their lead and that they can get a win in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, but we see that Wipeout Punk went 3 down, but this Carbon Roller just being able to survive, sharking around, doing what they can to make sure that they can hold their ground for Wipeout Punks.
Octopi right now is currently just on tower, trying to be as safe as they can, and they don't get killed on tower. Let's see, Carpet. Ooh, just tries to shark to the tower, but died right beforehand to the suction bomb.
Yeah, and that Inkjet defense from Wipeout Punks got a double, and they get the Wipeout. And that is the game for Wipeout Punks.
Is now 2-0, and I think Wipeout Punks did an amazing job on playing defensive as soon as they got that lead too right there.
Yeah, Wipeout Punks had a lot of pressure here and made sure that they were as aggressive as they can, making the E leader as uncomfortable as to make the E leader back up as much as they have to.
Yeah. I think Octopi were doing really good job on pushing them away when they were on tower, and Inkjets just came out very the Inkjets came out very helpful whenever they needed to.
Yeah, and I believe that's over for this set. I believe these sets are best of 3. So Wipeout Punks taking the set 2-0.
Wipeout Punks played very well right there, and they used their space accordingly, and they were also very good with getting off a bunch of kills when they off away from tower or from zone.
Yeah, and I believe we're gonna go to a mini break, but stay tuned for round 3. Hello and welcome back. We are going into group stage round 3. Our matchup right now is going to be Dark Masters versus Great Question. Lucky, do you have any information on these teams?
I actually have never seen these teams before, but I do really like their names. I think they're all very creative.
Yeah, I know Dark Masters is a high-low ink team, usually making alpha bracket. And Great Question, I'm not too familiar with everyone, but I believe they're actually a Australian team or people from like New Zealand, that area. I recognize Rainsfield and Tiger as people who I see from like Australian tournaments or at
Interesting.
least New Zealand tournaments. One of the two.
It's very interesting. The maps that we are currently on are Clamblitz Macklemore, Spot Zones Inkblot Art Academy, and Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard. What kind of comms or how do you feel about these maps, Rice?
Clamblitz Magomart is very small. It's just the two baskets are very close to each other. It's just one straight line across and you get to the other basket. So teams have to be very careful about wiping out on Clamblitz Magomart.
That's also why the Macklemore is definitely one of my favorite maps because I am a roller main, so having a very straightforward and small map makes it really easier to shark.
Yeah, we're probably gonna see sloshers and rollers come out from maybe both, maybe one team. I personally like to see sloshers because that's my favorite weapon, but we'll see once we get into the match.
I think we also might see a Splatling. It's been a trend from the past two rounds that we've seen at least one Splatling on the team. So maybe our DM and Great Question might continue the trend.
Yeah, I think we're at least gonna see one ballpoint, maybe a heavy slotling, but I know this is one of the best inkjet maps there are in this game as well.
Yeah,
And we're getting
and
into the game.
we see that Lee Christ has a gold ballpoint badge. So yeah.
Yeah, and we see the wiper coming out from Great Question, and as expected, we see a slosher, but we see that heavy splatling deco on the side of Dark Masters.
Currently now, T-Tech is going in and creating space in mid, while the ballpoint is fighting the heavy spotling, and they trade each other. Um, T-Tech now is just throwing bombs galore, and they're getting ready to push in. Oh, but the sloshing machine comes in and gets two kills, and now the splatling jumps straight back to spawn after seeing what happened to their crafting bud, and that is a delayed wipeout kind of. And now, Great Question has full control over mid.
Yeah, Great Question just holding the stack area with that machine being able to arc their shots around and actually gets a kill with that fizzy bomb, but the crab tank pushing them out.
Now we see the sloshing machine is throwing in fizzy bomb, trying to create space and that's a direct on the slosher and a direct on the splash too.
Yeah, we see that machine got that double and the wiper just pushing up with that space that the machine made.
We see that they throw in a football. I don't think they have any clams. Oh, they do, and they throw in a couple splashes trying to push them away from that basket and gets one kill, but dies to the wiper, and the T-Tech gets that kill on the ballpoint. But wiper still throws in more clams.
Yeah, it's currently a 1v1 with that wiper and T-Tech, but the machine, not machine, this Tri-Slosher back from spawn being able to pick off that Tri-Slosher or that wiper.
Slosher gets a trade with the ballpoint splatling, and currently now it's just kind of a 1v1 against each member of the team. I really see that Great Questioners going back into their base to regroup. Wow, I think Dark Masters are getting ready to get another football right now with 7 on the I think that's the splash.
Yeah, we see the Tri-Slosher goes down after trying to shark out that right stacks area while the rest of their team, I believe, was just trying to build up clams and their specials to be ready to push in.
They're trying to get ready to push in, but that inkjet is just stopping them from doing it, and gets a kill on the football. And they still have two footballs and a Kraken too.
Yeah, they're actually gonna use that Kraken to get super jumps in, but they weren't close enough to throw the football.
Ballpoint did an amazing job on camping that jump right there to stop them just before they were about to throw it in. And now, Great Question throws in another football, and they just get ready to throw in more claims too, while the Splatling is just stopping them from do that.
Yeah, we can see Great Question being able to take different positions. They had two people going on that right side and two people going on that left side, and they're actually still keeping up the pressure with this Wiper.
Swiper is just doing a very good job on putting pressure on that Splatling, and while he doesn't get the kill on the Splatling, I think that's the Enzap right there. The Enzap does get the final blow.
Yeah, and we can see that Great Question is keeping great control of mid and just making sure that Dark Masters doesn't have a good chance of pushing back into mid.
They throw in another football with a kill to go with it, and they're getting ready to, and they get a wipeout on Dark Masters too. They get ready to throw in some more clams too, with a lead of 20 right now, and he just keeps going down.
Yeah, and we can see that Wiper just being as pesky as they can on the plat of Dark Masters and just stalling enough for their teammate to get a couple more clams.
That is a wipeout. I'm not even sure who got the wipeout, but now Dark Master is just getting ready to. They have two footballs right now. They just need one good push in within the last minute of the game.
Yeah, but only having 1 minute and trying to beat a lead of 14 is gonna be tough. But if Dark Master plays their cards right, they can definitely still win this game.
We see the ballpoint swelling is using their range correctly to get rid of the person with the football still in base, while the other football user is now using their crab tank to push them away.
Yeah, and we can see that Dark Master is just trying to get back into mid. But Great Question, again, with their aggression and pressure, not letting Dark Masters get in.
You see the T-Tech now has a football. They have two footballs getting ready just before they're about to push in. Within 10 seconds left in the game, can they get in that final push? They get one kill. The Phantom is going in, all but dies straight to the ball point. But the Slosher comes in with, I think that's 20 seconds of overtime. Will Dark Masters be able to get another football in to throw?
Yeah, but Dark Masters, it might be over. Yeah, it was over for them because they couldn't pick up that power clam.
That is game two. Great question, and I think both teams played very well here. Great question was very effective in putting in, very aggressive, doing very aggressive to the Dark Masters, and they were stuck in their base for a lot of the time. They were throwing in clams or footballs.
Yeah, Great Question, just being able to hold their space as long as they could, not letting Dark Masters really move out of their spawn. You can always see that either the Wiper or I think the Ballpoint even got to Dark Masters plat while everyone else was just going towards the other side, making sure that they can pinch.
Yeah, both teams played very well right there, and you know, I think Great Question where just had a really aggressive comp where Dark Masters couldn't push in without a Wiper, being right there or ballpoint splatling.
Yeah, but now we're going on to the next map mode. It's gonna be Splat Zones on Inkblot. Do you think the comps will stay the same for this one, Lucky?
I think Great Question might keep their same comp because it works well, and also that's why I think their comp also works well with Splatling, or not Splatling, with Splat Zones. But I think Dark Masters might change up their comp just a little bit to fit the mode Splat Zones.
Yeah, we'll have to see, but this is definitely gonna be a good game from both these teams. We'll have to see what Dark Master changes to try to counteract the aggression that Great Question came in with.
Yeah, I'm hoping to maybe see a Roller here. I am a very big fan of Roller, and I think Roller is also really good with Splat Zones, and also Inkblot Art Academy because of that high pedestal right there in the middle.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna take a little bit of time before this next match, and I think we're hearing that Dark Masters is subbing someone in, so maybe that's a comp change from them. Just being able to change that comp for Splat Zone's Inkblot.
Yeah, I think it could probably, sorry, I think it will work well. Because I don't know, Inkball Art Academy can be very heavy to whatever comp you decide. Mostly because of the sides that you can come in through.
Yeah, Splat Zone's Inkblot, it's also one of the modes where Inkblot only has that center tower. The center tower where on the other map modes they have the two pillars on the sides.
Yeah. We see that they did end up changing their comp a little bit, but Great Question kept it the same. I think, yeah, Great
Yeah,
Question
great.
kept it the same.
Yeah, great question. Keeping their comp, knowing that this worked last time, while Dark Masters bringing in their own Wiper player to see if they can challenge the Wiper from Great Question.
Wiper is also very good because it has beacons too, so it gives Dark Masters more places to jump to too.
Yeah, we can see that it's sort of even on the map. Dark Masters getting the first cap, but Great Question going in with their specials right now.
Great Question comes in and they take, but I don't think for too long before they lose it. And I think Dark Masters gets ready to take it over just again.
Yeah, Dark Masters being able to recover from those specials, not going down to any of them. But the Wiper does go down, but Ballpoint also goes down for Great Question.
And Zeb gets the kill on the Slosher right there, and now they're just kind of chasing down that T-Tech right there, and T-Tech dies, but Splash stays alive while everyone died, and just make sure to ink that zone.
Yeah, Great Masters using the paint to their advantage. Their team comp paints very well, so they're trying to use the paint output that they have to try to push Great Question out of the way.
Uh, the Wiper right there gets 2 kills, gets ready for the third, and gets a Wipeout too. Puts a beacon right in their base too.
Yeah, and I think those first 2 kills from the Wipers were from the missiles that they launched. And we can see here, Dark Masters just trying to be as aggressive as Great Question was earlier.
Yeah. Now the enemy team Wiper from Great Question is going in, but gets a kill right before they can pop out their Stamper, and that is game from Dark Masters.
Yeah, Dark Masters completely turning this game to a 180. Instead of Great Question holding pressure, it was Dark Masters being able to push up and pressure Great Question this time.
Dark Masters did a really good job on coming back from the Clan game and changed up their comp to work with splat zones and were able to hold very aggressive pressure, especially with their Wiper too. And kept Great Question from coming too close and into the zone.
Yeah, the Dark Masters just no maybe Clan Blitz Mako Mart was not their map and mode, and they knew that once they get onto Splat Zone's Inkblot, they can reverse this game. But we're going into this last game, Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard.
Now we just have to see, who will come in. Great Question or Dark Masters, because Tower Controller's Sturgeon Shipyard is definitely, either or. I feel like it really, it could really go either way. Even no matter how long you have control of Tower Control, it could flip right, like it could flip right around as soon as you get to the enemy base.
Yeah, Tower Control Sturgeon Shipyard is very snowbally. Once you get to that second checkpoint, if you can clear that out, your team can pretty much just take advantage of the space you're given. But we'll have to see who is able to take control first and who will be able to keep up their aggression.
For the longest, yeah, definitely. I think personally that not Dark Master, Great Question could possibly keep this comp because their comp that they had in for Clan Blitz is also very good for tower control.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what happens once the game loads up.
We see that Dark Masters and Great Question keep their same comps too. They've well figured out that their comps work.
Yeah, we can see both sides sticking with the comp that they just used. Great Question maybe thinking that you know, the spot zone wasn't their game, and they just know that they can use the same comp. And Dark Master's confident with that win they just got.
Yeah, we see that mid control is kind of more heavy in the great question. With the Wiper getting ready for a two pick, on at least one pick on the T Tech, the Wiper on Dark Masters go down, and that's a wipeout for great question.
Yeah, we saw that Dark Masters, they were really split, while Great Question was having a 3v2 against their 2v2. Or
They
2v3, sorry.
Great question currently gets checkpoint one, which is very good. Now all they have to do is get past that second checkpoint, and that is game for them.
Yeah, but we see 2 down for Great Question, maybe a third one. The third one goes down, and it's just the ballpoint in mid.
Inkjet does come out. Inkjet does come out, and I think managed to push them away. Oh, and that dropout roll comes in very handy, almost dying to that slosher right there.
Yeah, but then we see 2 down from Dark Masters again, and Great Question just taking advantage of the numbers that they have.
Sadly, that ballpoint forgets about the T-Tech right behind them and dies. The Whitebird does get the trade though, but Slosher comes in and gets that trade. But the sloshing machine comes in and gets that trade too.
Yeah, we see that it's just constant trades left and right, but that will just lead to advantage for Great Question because they have the lead right now.
Dark Master is now getting ready to go in for that first checkpoint with no, with no stopping. But the Booyah Bomb comes out, but Ink Strike 2 and Crab Tank 2. Sloshing Machine comes in and dies to or Crab Tank dies to the Sloshing Machine.
Yeah, the machine playing very smartly. Machine, one of the best weapons to actually contest the Crab Tank because they can just slosh over the head of them.
We can see that they're doing a very good job on getting rid of all the beacons there that the Wiper is placing down. We see that Dark Master doesn't have that too many beacons on the map right now.
Yeah, we can see, Great Question, the hammer getting a kill, and the throw doesn't get a kill, but the Wiper just pushing up as much as they can.
The Wiper almost gets a kill right there, but is sadly stopped. But the Sloshing Machine does get the kill on T-Tech. Does try to push in, but Sloshing Machine, not Slosh, the Tri-Slosher comes in and stops that.
Yeah, indeed, and we can see the Tri-Slosher trying to move up, but the ballpoint actually spots them out.
Two Inkjets come in, and they try to have an Inkjet battle, but one wins, and Great Question is just right back on that tower again.
Yeah, Great Question pushing back up, having that wipeout. They can just go in without. They can just go in and push this tower and know that they can just keep pushing up.
The Wiper comes in with Stamp and gets rid of that Crab Tank, and I think they get past second checkpoint too. So this might just be game for Great Question, as they are 3 away, and that's game.
Yeah, Great Question. As I said earlier, they kept up their aggression. Even though they went down in numbers, they made sure that they didn't give up any space that they had earned earlier.
Great Question did a good job, and they knew that their comp worked, and Splatoon just wasn't their game, so they came back with the same comp and just flipped it straight back to a 180.
Yeah, and Great Question winning this set 2-1, showing that that second game that was just a fluke. They came back in third game, showing that they should have won.
They did Dark Masters also did a really good job, and as we can see, and as we said earlier, Sturgeon is a very snowball map because at one point they passed checkpoint 1-2 and they were getting close to checkpoint 2.
Yeah, Dark Masters just unable to really contest once they got to that second checkpoint, actually getting wiping out when that happened. But Dark Masters put up a really good fight. They got past the first checkpoint, but this map is just very hard to come back on.
Both teams did an amazing job on using their space and their weapons for mid control or base control here.
Yeah, and Lucky, I believe that's it for us today. For our commentary, where can people find you?
You can find me on my Twitter. It's lucky__walker.
Yeah, and if you want to find me, I play comp for a team, but if you want to follow my Twitter, it's at We Like Rice, all in caps. But yeah, that'll be it for us today. Thank you for commentating with me, Lucky.
It was fun commentating with you too, Rice.
And thank you everyone that's watching. Stay tuned for Top Cut next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to SAC Season 7 Tournament number 2. We are going to be coming in here with the top cut of the bracket. I'm Broken Pinky, joined here by Lily, and we're going to be getting right into it here. Thembo IHOP versus the Flying Dutchman. Lily, how you doing today?
I'm very well. I'm very excited to see these two teams play against each other in the first round of the single elimination bracket. How are you doing, by the way?
I mean, I'm doing pretty well. I'm definitely excited for this tournament. I'm looking at this bracket. We got some heavy hitters happening off the stream. Inkred Sun versus DK is going to be round 1, which we heard about a little bit earlier, which is a wild round 1 draw. We also have Secret Elixir versus Octopi, which is kind of a battle versus two teams that very recently entered the mid-level scene, but both of them have been doing very well at it. So definitely going to be a lot of great matches on round 1, both on and off stream. But for now, we're just going to be focusing on Thembo IHOP versus the Flying Dutchman.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see, as I said, these two teams play each other. And these teams, we will first see them on Rainmaker Museum del Francino. This is going to be, I think, a really interesting stage because having that drop into mid can be, I think, like from my own experience, a little bit of a struggle, especially if you've got some really strong backlines on this stage. So it'd be very interesting to see what kind of weapon compositions they bring to the table.
Yeah, I feel like all three of these stages here that are a part of the set are extremely backline favored. I feel like if you have a strong ballpoint player, or I mean even a strong charger player, I feel like you can get some absolutely insane pressure done on all three of these stages just because of how backline favored they are. But Rainmaker Museum is kind of the bigger exception just because of how fast of a mode Rainmaker is and just how much you really have to get into the enemy base. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. We're going to see a lot of of the team's cards on the table, see how exactly they want to push against each other on a map that has a very difficult choke point to get through, which is kind of the story of this whole set.
Yeah, absolutely. We see, we'll be seeing that holding the choke point kind of style of play, I guess, through all three of these games. Should we get through all three of them? And actually, regarding Rainmaker, as you mentioned before, the really fast playstyle, very quickly trying to get onto the other team's plat, we may see some tactical, as that's been quite strong in the meta lately. Looks like we are seeing actually the weapons coming in now, and we do see a Grey Zap on the side of Thembo IHOP.
Yeah, both of these teams are running pretty unique comps. We see the Flying Dutchman running both of the splatter shots, both the vanilla and the C-Take, as well as a junior, probably to take space by that choke point. But Thembo IHOP going a little bit off the rails here with an Inkbrush, Dually Squelcher, V-Blaster, and Grey Zap comp. Toba wasting absolutely no time trying to get that pick on that Inkbrush right off the bat, but very interesting composition from Thembo IHOP. They certainly don't have a whole lot of paint, but they have a lot of interesting offensive power that are probably going to try and play around, and they've already used it to win mid pretty handily and are starting to move on to the enemy plat.
Absolutely, and we can see them already picking up the Rainmaker, and they have a fairly good control, but it looks like they get wiped out pretty much instantly. I think did a few of them go down to a bomb just there as they were trying to
Three of them died to the same splat bomb. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, incredible. Those GG splat bombs. This looks like the perfect opportunity for the Flying Dutchman to retake mid and start their push in the other direction. But it looks like two of them have gone down once again. But it's a fairly neutral game at the moment with two down on each side. And we're seeing the Flying Dutchman struggle to get up onto the plat. But it looks like being pressured here, this might be a place where they'll be going down. It looks like they do at that moment too.
Yeah, that's an incredibly awkward spot for the Flying Dutchman to lose the Rainmaker, especially as Thembo IHOP is starting to gain a lot of control over that area. It kind of has to be just a flank through sneaky, and it seems like the Flying Dutchman not willing to take it. And Thembo IHOP has a lot of mid painted their color, but they're kind of conceding, and the Flying Dutchman starting to move forward. It's a very even game so far. Flying Dutchmen are getting the pop, but it seems like Thembo IHOP are juiced up for a little bit longer, so it's going to come down to this team fight. Brush goes down to the bomb. DS goes down too. The Strikes are going to force him out. Blaster gets a beautiful turnaround direct on the shot. Gets a nice double as well, but that bubble going to all but assure that checkpoint goes in favor of the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, and what an incredible, actually, what an incredible fight we saw just then. And as you were saying, both teams being fairly even at this point. The score's only 58 to 80 at the moment, and we can see them trying to take that checkpoint on the other side, getting the bubble popped out, and managing to secure that for themselves as well. And I have to say, this fairly even game is great to see with these two very different and pretty creative weapon comps as well.
I mean, yeah, that will have a very creative weapon combo. And right now, Len is definitely shining right now on this blaster. It's another nice kill. Trying to find another pick, trying to just keep pressure on the plat as much as possible. But yeah, Len is forced to drop, gets picked off. It's going to be pretty much an entire reset for Thembo IHOP. But they have a lot of mid painted their color, and the Flying Dutchman going to have to slowly shoot through that map control and try to get back that lead. But certainly not a strong lead in favor of Thembo IHOP. So anything can happen in the last, almost 2 minutes of this game we have left. Inkjet's going to come out. Strikes are going to come out as well from the Flying Dutchman, trying to push Thembo IHOP into a corner a little bit. The moving up with this shot, but the Ink Rush gets two. Damp is able to get a huge defense on that Rainmaker, and it's just the V shot left alive. That's going to be a wipeout on Flying Dutchman, and that push opportunity kind of goes to waste for them.
Wow, I really thought that they might even be able to get lead back off them at that point, but they still have 1 minute and 40 seconds left to get that going for them again. They had a really good momentum there, but being shut down by Thembo IHOP, I think just goes to show how well Thembo IHOP has been defending pushes all game so far.
Yeah, because you look at, Thembo IHOP's comp and you just think that their ability to use specials on defense is not really that strong, but they've been doing a great job at diving and using this cooler respawn as a, sort of faux defense to keep the pressure going, and already they're using that on this push, getting it down to 33. We finally have a significant lead in this game in the last, minute and a half of things, and that's definitely massive for them. IHOP getting it down to 33, but I mean, Flying Dutchman certainly not out of it yet. They have 1 minute left, trying to get some, push going. Zuka's going to come out, trying to find a pick. This pick is necessary right now, and the bomb pressure from Thembo IHOP takes out the Rainmaker once again.
Yeah, we are seeing some pretty incredible bomb placements from Thembo IHOP at the moment, especially around that ramp, which can be very dangerous if you're trying to push up there. But it does look like, once again, it's those defensive bombs that's going to be pushing out and stopping the other team from being able to push into their plat. But as we see at the moment, it looks like they're trying to be able to at least play very, very patiently with the Rainmaker here, knowing that they don't want to go down in that tricky spot, which they've been going down very early on in the game, actually. It looks like they are still waiting for that Rainmaker to reset before they can do anything once again.
Yeah, but right now, there's only 7 seconds left for the Flying Dutchman to get this pop and get this Rainmaker, and they have absolutely no pressure in mid. Ballpoint is able to get the pop, not quite able to grab the Rainmaker, but even then, all of them, IHOP was swarming them, and Thembo IHOP takes a very solid game one, had a lot of control for pretty much the entire match, and just really exploded off that one push.
Absolutely, and that was a really impressive push from Thembo IHOP, I have to say, considering that it was kind of one of those go for broke pushes where you were rushing all the way through into the enemy base when it was painted their color, even into, I believe, the enemy's big bubbler as well, which is pretty much a death sentence if you're going to be rushing into something like that. But getting those points down is going to be the thing that makes or breaks a Rainmaker game.
Yeah, I mean, that is for sure, but even without that push to 33, Thembo IHOP never let the Flying Dutchman push past that 58-point marker, which means that even if they didn't have that insane push and that pressure that it provided, their defense was just really strong, even in spite of their, odd comps. So good for them. Thembo IHOP showing that off-meta stuff can still work, and maybe they'll continue to make it work throughout the set as we swiftly head on to Game 2 on Clam Scorched Gorge. Lily, you have some thoughts about this stage?
Absolutely. Clam Blitz, one of my personal favorite modes, and I do enjoy on Scorched Gorge indeed. Even though it does have a bit of a choke point, we may be seeing some bubble placements or something that will help them get up there, especially in terms of trying to flush out the other team as well. We saw Thembo IHOP playing a really good defense, so that will hopefully be extremely strong to try and stop their opponents from trying to score too quickly. Now, Clam Blitz is one of those modes where you really want to have a lot of paint on the ground because that movement is really essential to being able to build clams, coordinate your clams, and get your pushes going.
Yeah, I feel like Clam Blitz, especially on Scorch Gorge, it's very, like, there's a very strict dichotomy between pushes on this map. Just because of how hard it is to actually get a push going. Sometimes it's just a power clam, and sometimes it's just a 100-0 push. And there isn't a whole lot of in between, just because of how volatile Clam Blitz is and how difficult it is to really push through that checkpoint. You really need to get, like, 1 or 2 wipeouts in a row while still having good clam economy in order to actually get a push going. So it's going to be really tough to see how these teams are going to try and get this started. But regardless, here we go on to game 2. Clam Blitz Scorch Gorge in this first set of top cut. We see that Flying Dutchman is going to be sticking with the same comp. Thembo IHOP also going to be going with theirs.
And it's exciting to see once again these alpha meta comps come into play once again. But the thing about Thembo IHOP is, as you were saying in the previous game, it's not a lot of paint that they're working with, but they do have a really strong defense, which is going to stop, I believe, the Flying Dutchman from being able to push. And it looks like the Flying Dutchman have already gone 2 down, and Thembo IHOP has a pretty strong clam economy going and preparing their push, throwing bombs up onto the Flying Dutchman's ramp at the moment and getting their power clam ready to score pretty much.
I mean, yeah, Thembo IHOP took a ton of control of mid immediately, but the tri-strikes from Moo are going to be able to force them out of that choke point a little bit. That dual sculpture got that bomb, but it seems like that's going to be about it. Len here with this blaster is going to be trying to make some plays. A pick here would be instrumental for Thembo IHOP. They're still going to get a few more clams into the basket. It's down to 62, but Len gets taken out by the splat bomb. Inkling is able to push it down that 60, or down below that 60-point marker, but it seems like that's all Thembo IHOP is going to get. A push to 59 is very soft. They're giving up a lot of mid in the after effect of that push, and this could be the Flying Dutchman's chance to get a push of their own going, but they only have tri-strikes on the board right now. They need to get a few more specials going if they really want to force that choke point open.
Absolutely, and it looks like they do have Trizuka ready to go, but they are being picked off by, I believe, was that the whale that got them there?
Yeah, I think the whale got that kill, but then 2 of them died on the other side of mid, and that pretty much just stopped the push right in their tracks, and Thembo IHOP has control of mid once again and is putting a little more pressure onto that choke point.
Yeah, we are seeing some great defensive bombs being able to stop Thembo IHOP from being able to push up too quickly, so they're going to have to really be playing patiently here if they're going to continue their push from 59. They still have a really good clam economy going, but we are seeing these tri-strikes come out and the Zuka come out to try and hold them back and find an opening, I believe, to be able to start pushing up themselves, but they are getting pushed out quite a bit here.
Oh my god, and that Inkbrush is just able to roll behind all of the chaos, get that power claim in, and here are the rest of them. I have threatening with a few more clans, but they're forced to back away with all that bomb pressure. The bombs in this game are absolutely instrumental. Every single player has one, and they've just been putting on so much pressure this whole time. Blaster gets the huge pick on Octopi. That ballpoint being down is amazing for the Flying Dutchman on this map. And that's going to be 2 dead on the side of the Flying Dutchman. Thembo IHOP pushing quickly, has another power clam, breaking that basket once again, getting it down to 49 points, and they have a ton of clams to get even further down. Damp is here, just doing Inkburst thing, just being an annoying distraction. All those clams going, except for the ones on Damp. 25 points left on Thembo IHOP's counter, and they're still getting more clams in from Damp.
Yeah, and that was a pretty good bomb dodge as well, but it looks like 2 of them have gone down and they just want to be... And another death actually to a bomb, which was very unfortunate, but a really well-placed bomb up on top mid right there. This looks like the Flying Dutchmen have only got 2 minutes to get their push going, but they really need to get their first power clam in of the game at this point in order to get a lead on Thembo IHOP.
Yeah, the Flying Dutchman just had such a hard time of breaking through mid, because every time they try to challenge, that choke point, they just go 3 dead because of Thembo IHOP's amazing positioning, and it's just been really hard for the Flying Dutchman to try and, get something together, and they only have a minute and a half to do so, so time is starting to run out here for the Flying Dutchman in this tournament. I mean, this is 4 elimination pretty much, and they have to get all the way down to 6 just to still have a fighting chance here, but that's what they're going to have to try to do. Ballpoint here has this Inkjet, but the Junior goes down, the Tita goes down, 3 are dead. It's just the Ballpoint left alone, and they're going to go down 2 for that delayed wipeout, and Thembo IHOP already back in that choke point once again.
Yeah, Thembo IHOP has been doing an amazing job at getting those positions that they need, not only to get the Flying Dutchman out of their turf, but also to paint up mid very quickly and get all of that control to be able to make those really fast pushes in as the Flying Dutchman is respawning. We're seeing Flying Dutchman with some defensive transloopers here, dodging the wave breakers and trying to stay alive as much as they can. They have one player down at the moment, but they're still throwing bombs, still defending, still trying to stop those power clams coming in to stop this game from getting knocked out too quickly. There's not much time they have left on the clock with only 35 seconds. It looks like it's going to be a big fight for mid in these last 30 seconds. What can you see happening here for both teams actually?
Yeah, I mean, time is definitely winding down with that overtime timer. We only have 40 seconds left, and the Flying Dutchman still does not even have mid. They have a few specials at their arsenal, but that bubble is popped really early and really far back. Not going to be helpful on that push, and that ball point with the inkjet goes down. The Moo trying to take cover in that bubble and is able to stay alive, but staying alive is not what they need. They need to get a push going, and now 3 versus 3, 2 versus 3 in the favor of Thembo IHOP, and Thembo IHOP, Len is just putting on so much pressure. Bubble's going to be a great shield. Two of them do down to the bomb inside the bubble, but at this point, Thembo IHOP is just trying to stall for time as the Flying Dutchman only has 10 seconds left of overtime to get that power claim in there, and the bomb pressure from Thembo IHOP is going to keep them away from that basket. They are starting to falter here. It's just one alive for the Flying Dutchman. It's just this V-shot, and they're going to go down. The junior's going to try and jump in and make some magic happen, but it's not going to work out. Thembo IHOP takes the set 2-0.
What an incredible set that was, and congratulations to both teams, actually the Flying Dutchman and Thembo IHOP, for putting up such a great fight in both games. Clan Blitz, that Clan Blitz game, seeing Thembo IHOP come out really strong with their defense, definitely I think is what got them that, not just that strong lead, but being able to stop the Flying Dutchman from being able to push up so many times in a row, I thought was incredibly impressive. And the Flying Dutchman once again putting on a great performance as well throughout both of these games.
Yeah, I mean, the Flying Dutchman is a very strong team for sure. They've been, kind of established for a long time, but they just didn't quite have the answer for Thembo IHOP's very unorthodox comp, and they played to it incredibly well. Led on that blast was putting on a ton of pressure. Damp was just being such an annoyance on that ink brush, always getting behind enemy lines, and that's what those weapons individually do, but you wouldn't expect them to work so well together. But, when you have an ends up with that tactical cooler and that dually sculpture with that Wavebreaker both capable of painting a lot, it really starts to let, those more unorthodox weapons really shine.
Absolutely, and this is, I believe, one of the reasons why we are starting to see Tacticooler become quite common, because it opens up quite a few more options for teams to experiment with other weapons. You don't get punished as badly for going down with them. You can get a really, really strong presence, and as you said, allow those weapons to shine as well.
Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of a break before top 8, but you saw a little bit of sneak peek of that bracket action we have. A lot of these sets are coming down to the wire, but some of them already over, so definitely going to be an interesting, top 8, but we're going to have to come back after a little bit of short break, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Welcome back everyone to SAC. We are going to the top 8 next. I'm Lily Gregory and I'm joined by Broken Pinky. How are you feeling about this next matchup?
I mean, I'm feeling great. We already had a pretty star-studded round 1 here, but we are just quickly moving on to round 2 because 2 of these sets just ended that dang quickly. Gonna be starting things off here. Well, not even starting things off. Gonna keep the ball rolling here with Smithereens versus Great Question. 2 very strong teams. This is gonna be a great set, I can already tell.
Absolutely. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what these 2 teams bring to the table. Especially, we are going to actually see these maps right now. Tower Control and Inkling Art Academy. This is a staple in the Splatoon 3 competitive map pools. What do you have? What do you reckon we might be seeing here? What kind of plays?
I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. These are 3 of my 3 favorite, map mode combinations in this game. I love playing on all 3 of these stages, so super hyped to see them in this set. As for TC Inkblot in particular, I feel like, Tri-Slosher is a weapon that's been on the massive uptick lately, and Inkjet's incredibly strong in tower control as well, so we might see some double Inkjet comps, with a V-Tri and a ballpoint, so that's gonna be something I'm looking forward to. We could also see some Cooler. We saw how effective that was in the last set. I mean, in this meta, it's kind of hard to predict just because of how many strategies work very effectively right now.
Absolutely, I think it's always great to see such a variety of strategies, especially when we're going into like some pretty close games as well between wildly different comps. Let's have a look at what these weapon comps are at the moment. It looks like we are going to be seeing actually double T-Tech on one side, which is an interesting choice, I think, for the Tri-Strikes to come out pretty strong.
I mean, yeah, Tri-Strikes are pretty solid in tower control, but double T-Tech is not something you see too terribly often, but Smithereens opting to go for it. Meanwhile, Great Question running a pretty standard comp, I would say. Has that Wiper, has that, ballpoint machine, which has been on the downtick, but is still a very solid weapon, and of course has that Gray Zap for that cooler support. So, going to be a very interesting matchup, especially, when we have Smithereens on, using that ink brush, trying to pilot it a little bit. Just because, we saw how effective it can be the last set, so maybe we'll see its effect once again here. But already, Smithereens off to a phenomenal start here in this team fight, trying to get the tower going in their favor, and there's one in the enemy bats already.
Absolutely, and it looks like it's been a relatively slow start actually, with the tower only going down to 93, and team fights, it's been a little bit of a bloodbath for both teams actually. It looks like Great Question has 2 of their specials ready to go, and trying to get mid control as well. It looks like they might be able to find an opportunity to get this tower going once they can get enough picks on the other team.
Yeah, Kirby's going to pop this hammer, going to try and find Callie in this drop area, is able to get the pick on the brush and gonna throw it, but in the meantime their team is gonna go down. I mean, actually, never mind, they're able to get a nice pick on that T-Tech, another pick on that ballpoint here, defending this first checkpoint. Great Question has a pretty solid defense right now, but can they convert it into a good offense is the big question. Tiger here trying to, shark out a nice pick onto the side of Smithereens, not quite able to find it. 2 dead on the side of Great Question as they try to get their push started, and they are nowhere near that tower, so that push is gonna fall flat pretty quickly.
Yeah, and these pushes have been really small and very much built around trying to control these stacks, trying to get a lot of mid painted up, and trying to control like the area you really want to be pushing that tower. It looks like Smithereens is actually going to be taking the tower once again, as 2 players have gone down actually on the side of Great Question, with Tiger still trying to find a moment to respawn. 3 down actually, and also the Gray Zap going down once again. It looks like they're throwing out this Tri-Strikes to try and move them away from any defensive positions that Great Question is going to be taking here. But it's going to be a tough battle to get through this plat.
Yeah, but Smithereens finally at that second checkpoint here and are going to break it very well. Callie on the Ink versus the Tower Rider, which is an interesting decision, but so far working out great for Smithereens as they're below that 30-point marker going on to that 3rd checkpoint, but they don't have any more specials. They have to win just a straight-up team fight, and team fight, Great Question is very poised to win. Finally, Smithereens is going to be forced off the plat, but what an amazing push they had in a very slow-paced game, getting it all the way down to 24, and they're still putting on the pressure on the enemy plat here. No, I mean, Great Question cannot look away for a second, or else Smithereens is going to be back up in their business.
Absolutely. It looks like a Great Question might be really having to fight for mid at the moment, as Smithereens has already pushed up and are pressuring their plat at the moment. We can see Great Question's Inkjet coming out, trying to find a way to really hold that space for them as they try and move the tower back into mid, but it looks like Smithereens has already hopped back on, pretty much completely ignoring that that Booyah Bomb, which almost pushed them in the direction that they wanted to go actually there.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Great Question is just funneling in one by one, but these tri-strikes in the bats are going to be so difficult for them to contest. 3 of the members of Great Question are just trying to win back their bats, but, I mean, the members of Smithereens are just not going to go down. Callie is being so evasive on this Inkbrush, doing exactly what Inkbrush things do, and that's going to allow the rest of Smithereens to get some picks on the teammates as well. It's just a bloodbath in the plat of Great Question here, as they're trying desperately to vie for some control, but they're not able to find any whatsoever as we enter the last minute of this game, and this push from Smithereens is still going on.
Yeah, at the moment it really looks like Great Question is going to have to win a very big team fight and be able to push up ahead and take control of mid as quickly as they can in this last minute, because things are definitely not going in their favor in terms of points. It looks like Smithereens has already taken the tower down to 20, but with 3 players going down, it looks like this maybe, and a soft wipe actually, this may be the opportunity that Great Question really needs to be able to take control and push up, and we can see them slowly making their way now.
Yeah, Great Question finally has control of their plat, but the last 30 seconds of the game has a lot of paint in mid, but this team fight around this first checkpoint is going to be crucial, and tri-strikes are on the table for Smithereens. That's the benefit of double T-Tech. You always have tri-strikes online. One of the T-Techs is behind the tower. It's Zashin trying to get a kill on this ball point. They're able to get it. Another goes down to the plat. Beautiful, beautiful flank by BMOG. And now Callie's on this tower. Gets the pick on the zap. 2 seconds left, 1 second left. We're in overtime. Kirby's on this tower, but they go down, and that's going to be Smithereens taking a very, very strong game 1.
Absolutely. I feel like Great Question really needed a great answer to Smithereens' control that they had throughout almost the entire game, but they had that answer almost ready to go towards the end. Unfortunately, they didn't manage to win those fights and push the tower up in time, but taking it to overtime, very, very impressive play from both teams.
I mean, yeah, but just Smithereens keeping that push going for, I think it was almost 3 minutes, is just absolutely ridiculous. And that whole time they had that tower special advantage, so they were just throwing out tri-strikes and killer whales just all the time, and making it so hard for Great Question to get any kind of footing. Absolutely phenomenally executed game plan by Smithereens, and I mean, that game plan just completely overwhelmed Great Question, so very well done to them. We're gonna have to see how Great Question adapts as we head on to game 2 on Rainmaker Undertow.
Rainmaker Undertow Spillway, another favorite of mine personally. I really do like it here. It's probably my favorite Undertow Spillway map actually. Undertow Spillway mode rather.
I mean, yeah, Rainmaker Undertow is just it's very good. I love the stage a lot. I love Rainmaker as a mode, but it just works so beautifully on the stage, and I mean, we're just gonna get right into it here. We're seeing that Sanctuary already trades off one of their T-Techs for a Gray Zap, trying to get some cooler pressure, and I mean some cooler pushes on Rainmaker, and it seems like Great Question has swapped one of their machine out for a 52 gal. So interesting adaptation from Great Question. We're gonna see if this is the answer they've been looking for.
Absolutely. Seeing tactical on both sides is going to definitely lead to some very strong frontline. Oh, looks like we have a disconnect already, and I believe the match might stop here to allow it to restart. But yeah, as I was saying, having a tactical on Rainmaker is definitely, I think, the play to have in order to get not only that that speed that you want in terms of taking the Rainmaker and pushing it over to the checkpoints, but also to really get your front line right up in the face of the other team.
Yeah, and what's nice about Tacticaler on this map in particular is it actually makes the right route viable, because all of a sudden the problem of just walking on an uninkable is not there as much, because you can just kind of run through it with Cooler in like 2 seconds. Plus, you know, you could really use Cooler to actually fully muscle through that first checkpoint. So Tactical works incredibly well on this map, which, I mean, no question why we see both of these teams running it. So definitely going to be a very, very interesting game. We might see Smithereens go with more of that control aspect. We might see Great Question try and be a little more aggressive with that wiper play and backed by that cooler. So definitely going to be an interesting match once we get into it.
Absolutely, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this one turns out. I'm hoping to see these pushes go quite quickly indeed, as we can saw in that like little preview, I suppose. They did try and pick up the Rainmaker quite soon in the game. And it looks like we are going right back in right now to Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway, and let's see how this goes.
Yeah, a little bit of a reset. We have, different colors on these teams. We have, the classic, some classic Splatoon 3 colors here. And we saw in that last go around, Smithereens is opting for Sanctuary on their, or Smithereens is opting for Control on their side, whereas Great Question goes right for that pop first, and that puts Great Question in a very aggressive position, and they're already trying to capitalize on it. That's going to be the, pinstring on the zap. 3 dead, 4 dead on the side of Smithereens. Great Question picks up that Rainmaker immediately, goes right, but some of the teammates are going to go left. One of them is just going to, there's Kirby on this Viper just on the left side by themselves, supported by Tiger on the Whale, and that's really going to, be really hard for Smithereens to try and defend both sides.
Yeah, we saw Tiger there. She just went down to 2 players on the side of Smithereens, but having that really aggressive front line is, I think, definitely what Great Question was playing towards at the moment. It looks like Smithereens is going to try and make a comeback here with the players going down. Actually, they do lose the Rainmaker. They do get picked off there as they were attempting to make that push, supported by the Inkjet, and it looks like 2 go down on the side of Smithereens here as Great Questions get ready to make their next push.
Yeah, I mean, Great Question already off to an amazing start here, breaking through that checkpoint in under a minute, and they still have a ton of control in mid. It seems like this map mode, plays a lot better into how they want to play, but right now, Smithereens has that player advantage, has a good amount of map control. Tricer's going to come out to enforce it, and Smithereens starting to move that Rainmaker forward slowly, but here comes Kirby with the hammer from behind, gets the pick on the Rainmaker, gets the pick on the Inkjet as well, and that's going to be a wipeout, spurred on by Kirby's amazing hammer.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing hammer, but this is going to be an opportunity that Great Question are going to take and run with it. As we saw early on in the game, they already had the left side painted up to prepare for a movement over to the other side, so it does look like they had a pretty strong game plan here, and it looks like they are getting ready to make that work for them, getting their points all the way down into the 40s, perhaps even the 30s. We're seeing them play fairly patiently right now to try and push it, nearly getting that KO there, but being taken down by Smithereens around that uninkable area.
Yeah, I mean, Great Question. All this push was just absolutely incredible, getting it all the way down to 12 points in a very speedy fashion. I mean, they're patient, but once they find that, right time, they just go full in guns blazing, and that's really hard for Smithereens to stop. And I mean, at this point, Smithereens essentially has to get a knockout if they want to get that lead from Great Question, so it's going to be really rough for them, especially with the defense that Great Question has been showing in this game, a complete role reversal of the game we've seen before.
Absolutely, and it's, I think, just a great example of how these teams can adapt to each other, and how these teams can also adapt their game plan to the map modes as well, to make these pushes, to make these strategies that they have really worked for them. Smithereens has gone down 2 players, but their Inkjet is really pressuring Great Question at the moment, as they have already popped the Rainmaker and trying to take some control over Great Question's side of the map here.
Yeah, I mean, Great Question is trying to hold strong on this defense. Ice Christ being a very hard wall for them to break through. I mean, it's very difficult for Smithereens to try and push forward, because all the weapons on Great Question have such good matchups into them. This 52 gal pick is really working wonders, because, I mean, if you look at Smithereens comp, that 52 gal beats pretty much all the frontline players that Smithereens has to offer, and Tiger knows it full well, is trying to move forward here. Almost to that Whale, has that Whale for some added pressure here. I mean, Tiger's just such a hard force to get rid of. Cali on the Singbird's going to be trying to find this Rainmaker once again, but they're going to go down that pincer maneuver. Tiger loses the 1v1 to Zacian, and Zacian's going to be finding that Rainmaker a little bit, but they go down a little bit early to that Inkjet pressure as well. And I mean, Great Question is just setting up such a strong defense right now that Smithereens really struggling to break through it.
Absolutely, and that's the play that Great Question is really going to want to have to work towards at the moment, just making sure that they can have that defense going and being as patient as possible. They already have a really strong lead down to 12, and Smithereens has only got it down to 96, so we have 40 seconds left on the clock. We are seeing Tiger getting camped there, unfortunately, and Smithereens getting the Rainmaker at this moment. Perhaps they can make this push work for them and get some more points on the table.
Wait, did I just see BMOG throw down a cooler and then not grab it?
Maybe it looks like anyway Smithereens is still going to be trying to make this work for them, but we can actually see both the Tactical and the Inkjet ready on Great Question side, ready to pop off at any moment. With two players having gone down, it looks like this is going to be a difficult fight for Great Question to win, but you know what, they don't have to do too much here. All they have to do is stop the Rainmaker as we go into overtime.
And here comes Tiger going for that Rainmaker, immediately gets that pick. I mean, two players are there trying to stop it, but Tiger only needs 2 shots on that Rainmaker, and they're going to find it very easily. Great Question takes a dominant game 2, sending us right over to a game 3 tiebreaker, winner-take-all in this top 8.
Yeah, and honestly, I have no idea, really no idea what we'll be seeing in this game 3. We saw a pretty radical change of pace in that Undertow Spillway game that we saw in the Inkblot Art Academy Tower Control, where the players were really playing for picks and making their pushes going only once they had as much control as they possibly could, throwing every single bit of damage, all of their specials at the bats in Inkblot Art Academy. But as we saw in Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway, they were definitely playing for speed, playing for getting that front line right up in the face of Smithereens there. So I'd be very, very interested to see what they bring to Clamblitz on Marco Mart, which is, once again, it's actually quite a lot different to the other two, especially Undertow Spillway that we saw just then.
Yeah, very interesting. I feel like we saw Great Question really make some great plays with that breakaway push, but Clamblitz Marco Mart is kind of a middle ground between these two, because you can really get a really strong breakaway push, but if you push a little bit more slowly, Smithereens did on TC Inkblot, that's where you get some really big point scores here. So anything could really happen here on Clamblitz Mako Mart. I feel like pretty much anything could work really well here, and both these teams have been showing to be very effective with their team comps in the right scenario. Tiger's going to be going back to that machine, and we're going to see BMO going to a V-shot instead of that Gray Zap. So once again, interesting changes for both of these comps. We're going to see how it plays out for both of these teams here in this game 3.
Absolutely. I think bringing out the V-Shot here is a pretty good choice, having that Trizuka to take out Great Question's Ballpoint, which was definitely posing a big problem for them in that Rainmaker game. It looks like already there is a lot of control that Great Question is taking up in mid, but they are going to be responded by Smithereens, Whale, and Inkjet coming out. It looks like they are getting ready to have that push going, but they don't have that. Well, actually, they did have a power climb. They just threw it in there. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, Cali gets a few more clams before they go down, but Cali's Zaoshin going down. That Ballpoint's going to go down as well. BMO is the last bastion here for Smithereens. Going to go down for that delayed wipeout that Great Question is going to get, and Great Question has a ton of control in mid right now. They just have to piece together a push. They already have that power climb, but they're going to go down before they can find the basket, and Great Question is too dead before they can make it there. Tiger's trying to make something happen with this machine, but he's just a little too slow to find that pick on Cali, and that's going to be the push from Great Question, being stuffed very quickly.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate there for Great Question. It does look like Smithereens is already trying to get control back over both of those stacks there, but it looks like Tiger is definitely pushing them off, preventing them from taking control over the right stack, and meaning that I think Tiger at the moment is looking around for that final pick and that final clam to be able to get their first push of the game in.
Yeah, and Tiger is going to get that power claim and gets that score down to 80. And Great Question trying to get some more points on the board. There's that power claim score. Going to get that lead at them at 54 there. But Great Question does not quite have the manpower to keep this push going. It's going to be stopped at 54. A modest push, but it's enough to get the lead from Smithereens, and that's going to put a little bit more pressure on them as Smithereens fights to reclaim mid a little bit, but Great Question still there putting on that pressure. Tiger is able to find the pick on the ballpoint, and all of a sudden, Smithereens are 3 dead, and there's another push opportunity for Great Question here. Tiger going to be sharking around this left side of the map, going to be swatting, going to be taken out very quickly, but that's going to allow the rest of Great Question to move through mid very confidently.
Absolutely, and we can see that Great Question already has another power clam and looking for the pick to make sure they have that opportunity to be able to move back in once again. Unfortunately, only one player goes down on either side. Two players in Great Question now. This is going to be Smithereens' chance to take that lead back if they can just get this power clam in and find the right opportunity. It looks like they do try and jump back to save that power clam, but they get taken out mid-jump as Great Question already has a clam ready and control over the stack in order to get this in, but they're going to be pressured off here and they lose that power clam as two players go down on Great Question.
Yeah, Ice Christ is able to reclaim that power claim for a little bit, but that push opportunity for Great Question is going to fizzle out. But I mean, at this point, stalling is only going to favor Great Question here as they have that lead here. Smithereens trying to get some clam economy built up. That T-Tech almost has, you know, all the clams necessary. His option under the basket, is able to get that power claim, is able to get that score, breaks that basket open, and Smithereens has the means to get that lead. Just have to get clams in there. 56, one clam away. BMO is able to find that basket, gets it down to 53. That's the lead for Smithereens, but the tightest of tight leads possible. And Great Question is already back. They have two power clams at the ready to just blow the door right open. If they can find that basket, it's 3 versus 2 in favor of Great Question, and they're going for that basket. That's the basket breaker, but they need two clams to get this lead. It's just the machine coming from spawn. They're not going to get the lead this time around, and Great Question just barely missing their opportunity to get the lead back from Smithereens here.
This is an incredibly close game. Great Question, I think, really need to be able to work together to get control over both stacks, get as much pin control as possible. Looks like two of them have been going down, 3 down, it looks like, with some impressive Trizuka and Inkjet synergy there. They do manage to get, Smithereens does manage to get the clam basket open once again once they get all those picks on Great Question. Getting the score down all the way to 6. It looks like we have a knockout at the end with the set going to Smithereens, but what a close game that was for so long.
That game was so close, but then BMO popped a Zuka, got a collateral with it, gets a huge double, and that just allows Smithereens to not only break the door open, but just throw it clean off the hinges. And that's going to be just an unhinged push for Smithereens for that knockout there. Absolutely incredible work. And I mean, they just showed exactly why they won that game 1. And Smithereens, they looked out of it for a lot of that game 3 there, especially after a dominant game 2 from Great Question. But they were able to pick up the pieces, and they were able to just pull a great mental reset off and just make an absolutely phenomenal push. What a great set from both these teams. Huge congrats to Smithereens for picking up the pieces there at the very end.
Absolutely, and an amazing job for both teams. It was incredible to see them. Actually, it was really incredible to see them in that last game we saw of Clan Blitz. We had a bit of, I feel like we had a bit of both games there. We had that patient, that playing for picks that we saw, that's the slow pushes, the slow burn that we saw in the tower control game, and then we saw that incredible fast-paced push when they do get that wipeout that we saw in Great Question do in the Rainmaker game. So absolutely impressive performances from both teams there.
Yeah, and I mean that's unfortunately going to be the end of our block. We're going to be going on to top 4 with some new casters. We already saw a bit of a sneak peek of 3 of the teams in top 4. We have Inkred Sun, Wipeout Punks, and of course Smithereens. We're going to be waiting a little bit for that 4th team, but I mean, with that said, we're going to be getting on a top 4 shortly. But as I said, it's going to be the end of the road for Lily and I. I think we get a little bit of an outro here as well, to plug ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, so where can we find you, Pinky?
Well, you guys can find me on Twitter at, brokenpinky_, where I just occasionally say some stuff. You can also find me on the newly formed team, No Laughing Matters. We hopefully try to take some names in the new competitive landscape. But Lily, gotta ask, where can we find you?
Oh, that's very exciting, I have to say, about your team. You can find me at twitter.com at lilygravybread. That's all one word, Lili gravybread. And also same name on twitch.tv as well, where I stream from time to time. But that is going to be it from us as we go to a break and get ready for the next set.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SAC season 7. Yeah, season 7, tournament 2. I am Genie7, joined by DGM. And DGM, our match today, we have the heroes who seem to never die versus today's current most wanted team, Red Sun versus Thembo IHOP.
Oh, it's going to be very interesting to see. Like, Red Sun very much there on the wanted sign. They've got wanted, dead or alive, for 1,000 Gs. That's probably a little bit small. But they have not yet lost a single game in today's tournament. Never mind a set. Not even a single game. They are the team to beat. And IHOP, who literally just came from a tiebreaker 2-1 set, oh, they've got their work put out in front of them today.
It's going to be an insane match. We'll see if Thembo can survive. We have to remember, their group had 3 teams that were 2-1. So they're only here because of tiebreakers, and they've ran with it. They've run and been able to make it all the way here to semis. So will the magic die out today? Will In Control Red Sun be the ones to snuff out Thembo IHOP's fire? We will see. Our first map, Umami Ruins on Splat Zones. DGM. This is a map which long range can dominate, and crab tanks are still very, very powerful.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Particularly if you can get some players really camped out on that circular elevated area. And even if you just get camped up on the middle area, it really allows some great positioning just to fend off the entire opponents. And even if you push up even further, if you can get even just a jet squelcher or anything with range onto the enemy's circular platform, oh my, you have got a work get out of you. That is a great spot if you can get yourself pushed up onto there and just fend off any opponent, because you got to get past there almost essentially if you want to get into the center of this map as we dive into game 1 of the set.
Game 1, and we're gonna have the double splatling coming out of Red Sun. And who expected any other comp changes up from Thembo IHOP? This is the comp that they've relatively been running. Damp and Line will be continuously on those 2 weapons that they are currently playing. So we will see. The zones are already staying neutralized, but Thembo, they've got control of that top mid, and they've got the first splat.
Oh, what a great start off to this match as Thembo takes the initial control, getting those initial points onto the board, loses control for just a second, but they do manage to keep it a duel up between the Blaster and the Wiper, but with some assistance, Nico gets splatted into oblivion. And what is this? IHOP just getting straight onto the board here.
There's no way that they're able to do this. Thembo, they're going crazy. Damp is going to fall down to Crimson Inkjet in the side. We're going to have 2 go down side of IHOP. They're going to try and stay alive, try and retreat back, keep these zones neutralized. The Red Sun, they will be in control. Len, trying to find some shots down with this Blaster on this left side onto the Nautilus. Going to be spaced out back. They have to watch out now because both spotting on both sides. They're able to take out Crim though. That's a massive. Can they find Feed and Nico? This is big. Those super jumps are going to create a lot of distraction, and they'll be able to help capitalize on some of these zone pressure. This is going to be a crazy fight.
Oh, yes, and we're seeing that IHOP, they've got so much control. They've got so much domination. They take the zone, and they're just pushing them back. A member does go down, however, which is going to give them control up of that zone as Beam hops over to that left side, and then other members take control of right. That coordination allowed them to quickly regain control, and look how quickly they've taken off the players. They've taken away control, and again, another 2 players down as they jump back to spawn. Red Sun, oh, they've got that red ink, they've got that domination, and they've got set up. This is going to be tricky for IHOP to break out.
Yeah, I don't really see how they're going to be able to. They're going to have to win this fight twice with the tactical being ready. Trying to get out, they'll be giving up the zone lead. There goes Len down in front. The missiles are going to be able to get a lot of chip damage down. Red Sun, they are going to be backing up. They don't want to die too far deep in the spawn now that that tactical has gone off. They have to find a way in for Thembo IHOP. They have to use these super jumps to their advantage.
Absolutely, and oh, they get the split onto the Nautilus. 2 down off
3.
IHOP, make that 3. The ballpoint is the only one left in zone, but they're gonna have to back out as the killer whale eyes them off and they jump back to safety. IHOP take control of the zone, giving Red Sun a nice 69-point penalty.
Big point penalty there. The amp is going to go down on the low ground with Len to be able to find that spot on to the Nautilus, but goes in front of their own bubble and gets taken out by the bomb. Crim's Inkjet is going to be proving to be a little too strong for AJ, who does fall. Tux is going to be backing off, especially now that they have those 10 missiles on them. And this is IHOP. They're going to have to find a way to re-enter into the control that Red Sun has created.
So the unfortunate bit about this is that IHOP, they're just getting pushed back just that little bit further back than when they're attacking on the side of Red Sun, which makes it all the more harder for them to get back in. They just have to put that extra effort. They have to give their extra specials. But a player does go down on Red Sun, and with specials coming out, we've got a killer whale. And we've got so much, and that is the zone flip. Even for a second, one player left on both. They're trying to find each other, trying to find the picks. Lean just trying to find them, and gets the spot onto the ninja jump, and that zone in neutral and goes back in control to IHOP.
Yeah, this is crazy. Len's going to be going around from the backside, able to take out Crim. Can they find Nico as well? They're going to have some help from the teammate. The app is coming around from the corner. They're going to be able to get that big splat. Red Sun, they got some members on the way out. Team and 5th Gen are on their way back onto this tarp area, but they're going to get punished by Len's blaster. You can't take a blaster around some corners.
Oh no, that blaster will send you back to the spawn pad as Len trying to find any players, trying to get around those corners. Cream here, they're just getting and finding these spots, pulls out the inkjet, and now they're going to be in a tough position. They're trying to get them out, gets the splat onto Dam, trying to find some more picks as the zone goes into neutral. 30 seconds left on the clock, and IHOP takes control of the zone Red Sun takes control as the IHOP was 3 players down.
Yeah, Beam's going to be running forward. They do have that tactical buff, so they'll be able to respawn pretty darn quickly. We're going to see Tux. They have that super jumps ready. They're going to be wanting to unleash that on a zone. Have to watch out for these missiles. They don't have too much time. You need to get both these zones, and they're big zones. 2 of them. A long way to go for Thembo IHOP. They need to get there. They need to start painting them. They need to at least neutralize them. And with a wipeout coming through, they will not be able to. Red Sun take a tight game 1.
IHOP, they led in with such a strong domination on that first 30 seconds, that first minute, getting all the way down to 52 points. But then Red Sun, just with the counter, the pushback, they just had the tenacity, they had the speed, and they regained control of mid and took control of the entire map so quickly.
That was amazing for Thembo IHOP. On paper, this match was going to be a wash. At the beginning of the day, we never thought this would ever be our semifinal, who Red Sun would be facing in the semis right now. So for Thembo to have a game like that, have that confidence, and have it on zones, where their comp, let me be straight up honest, on paper doesn't look all that good for Umami zones. Blaster is not usually something you'd like to see there. I'm looking at Tower Control Hagglefish and Rainmaker Manta, where I like that brush brush blaster combo a lot more. So if they got some good momentum, if they can keep their good momentum from game 1, take it into game 2, I have full confidence that we're going to be seeing a game 3.
And just going straight into it, Hagglefish, Tower Control, and we're going to see that exact same comp come out on both sides. Pretty much no changes onto the field. Very interesting to see that we're, again, still getting that double splatling, still getting that ink brush and blaster combo on the opposition, and both teams just trying to get that initial battle off mid to get that progression going.
Yeah, we are going to have, the only swap is the Zap will be swapping over to T-Tech on the side of Thembo. That's the only change, but here goes those killer whales. They're doing a lot of good damage, but you're losing your blaster brush combo off the rip like that. It's not going to be all that healthy. All the members of IHOP are running back to the spawn, and they're going to most likely get punished by the Inkjet. Nico's able to stay alive and get control of this canopy. Great positioning for Red Sun.
Nico just going straight up into IHOP's face as Red Sun heads into the first checkpoint, and with a pretty secure amount of ink around them, is going to pretty easily clear that. But they
got off.
do have a player down, and they're just trying to get down. 2 players go down on the side of Red Sun, and now it's IHOP's turn to get this counter push going. But first, they need to get that ink control onto the map and get that control, get that possession, get their specials ready. We do see the wave breaker come out, which is going to create a bit of space for them. But then with 2 players down on IHOP, that's not going to be much of a push for them.
No, and I can't believe it, but ink control didn't get through the first checkpoint. I can't help to think that was a mistake, but they should be able to get through it this time. They're not going to make that same mistake again. 3-up advantage for themselves, and they know exactly where that brush is going to be coming from. Red Sun trying to march their way forward, along with Nico and 5th Gen, who are trying to get a lot more space deep in the control of the base. Nico's going to be popping this Ultra Stamp. What can they find? They're going to try and find Len, but get shut down by that direct of the blaster. First checkpoint has fallen. Second checkpoint looking to be under contention. The Len's here with the blaster, able to get 2, able to get maybe 3. Their teammates just need to help them out with some paint in front of their feet. That big bubbler is going to be out, but when you have a sword already inside of it, there's no way you can use that to your advantage.
Oh no, just getting splattered at just the wrong time. But we do see that IHOP still has a Trizook, has some specials at the ready for them to use, but they need to get possession. They need to have something to grapple onto. At the moment, Red Sun just has so much control. We see Beam there, and the flanking position, providing jumps for their teammate as well, and just trying to find picks, trying to find splats, trying to find anything, but the blaster finds them first as Len gets 2 splats there, taking down the Ultra Stamp as well.
Yeah, Len's been going crazy on this blaster today, and consistently getting to see them at LTC go off with it. We're able to find another spot on 5th Gen, but their blaster gameplay is phenomenal, and you just don't see strong blasters in Splatoon 3 at all, because nobody really plays that weapon anymore.
Blaster is... Oh, it's a hit and miss weapon in quite a literal sense. Dampier trying to get that shot up with Beam, but they jump out. Smart decision there as they take out the Wiper. And now IHOP with 1:40 left on the clock. Throw out the tri-strikes, throw out players, and trying to get some push going, trying to get some momentum. They still yet to clear a single checkpoint. But with 2 players going down on Red Sun and returning that favor twice back with 3 players down on IHOP, what might have been a push just got shut down.
Yeah, this is tight gameplay here. We're gonna have just over a minute remaining on the clock. Thembo, they have a chance because the second checkpoint has not been touched by Red Sun. If they can get a good defensive posture here, the game will be able to have a legitimate chance to have a comeback in overtime. But they're gonna have to stay alive here, and losing 2 members out super quickly to Nico's hammer is not how you want to do it. Surviving Crimson Inkjet is gonna be also something important. Tux has to stay alive here. Absolutely critical for them to stay alive with those tri-strikes. They will go down. Beam has that technical on tower. They have to try to find a way back in to try and shut this down. Len is there below it, also getting some good spots down with their blaster, and Damp with that brush able to get some good spots. 5th Gen has to watch out for those bombs. They're going to be pressured. But I don't think Thembo knew that there's another jump back here. I don't think they know that there's 2 people in their backline.
Oh, Nico just hiding there. They got the flank ready, and with 20 seconds left on the clock, this could be devastating for IHOP. Nico trying to get that spot into Tux. It connects, but the blaster says, no, not today, as they head into the first checkpoint, but they've got a lot of distance to cover and 5 seconds to do so before overtime starts.
Overtime is going to be starting. They've lost their blaster. That's one of your most important players. Damp's the last one alive. They're going to be going down. Aja's going to have to find their jump in and roll onto that tower. They're able to get onto it, but that Wipeout comes through. And Red Sun, they can't control the tower. They take control of the series, and they take control of their own destiny, marking their ticket into finals.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. What a way to pay your way forward. Get that stamp. Get that checkbook. Checkbook?
Checkbook. We ain't written no checks here, DJ, unless you're paying.
What I'm paying for is the ticket to the finals. That's all I'm paying. No dollary dues here.
Nope. We do know who our finals matchup will be. It's gonna be Wipeout Punks versus In Control Red Sun. That will be a fire matchup. Smithereens got taken out in a 2-0 fashion. And yep, it's groups. There is our gold bracket. My goodness. My absolute goodness. This is a, let's just say, very interesting bracket. How I had predicted it going into the day, no. Red Sun is the only thing that I got right in my predictions. That's about it. Everything else, I would have probably had gotten wrong.
Yeah, what's really interesting here, looking at this, I can't say about for the group stage for the start of Wipeout Punks, but at least here at the gold bracket, neither team has let off a game. That's what we're going into. That is exciting.
I'm all for it. Let's just, I'm gonna take a fast look here at groups. No, Wipeout Punks didn't lose round 1. Wipeout Punks did not lose game 2. That one was on stream. And they also have not dropped a map. Both these teams have not dropped a map. What? I would have thought Wipeout Punks would have maybe let one slip by them. But no, they are undefeated as well, just as much as In Control Red Sun is. This is going to be a phenomenal battle. I know both teams are going to be joining the lobby relatively quickly, so we will most likely be talking through the break. So yeah, we just need 2 more players. So we're all but ready here, everyone, to get ready. We will have counter picks. We will be starting on zones. Zones will be our first map. So this will be exciting. I gotta say, for Wipeout Punks, if they can win this against Red Sun, this Red Sun team has been hot. They have been cooking in the last 3 weeks. 2 months ago, not cooking. I would have called them cool sun, mellow temperature. But now they are red hot.
Ooh, yeah. There's.
Unlike
Red
you, DJM,
Sun.
who's still waking up.
Waking up, I'd say I'm falling asleep.
Falling asleep.
This is a reason you don't see me on the SAC commentary block. It is not exactly at my peak commentating time, but I guess most tournaments.
What, 5:30 in the morning isn't good enough? Isn't good for you?
Nah, not exactly.
Yeah, that's what DJM's an absolute legend. Can we get a round of applause for DJM, everybody? 5:43 commentary block is very. Am I right in the time?
Oh no, that's when I was. Well, that's when we start.
That's when we started.
What time is it? It's 6:45 now.
6:45. Okay, but you've been up. You've been up, and you haven't really slept. So like, that's legendary commentator hours right there.
Thank you. Oh, Mako zones is where we're gonna be heading off to first. So,
which means we won't be able to see it. Hopefully, too much more. I still have nightmares from that one SEC finals with counter picks where we had zones Mako into zone C into Mako TC into Mako TC.
So in other words, you've just had too much experience shopping.
Yeah. Yes, I
You
love
got too many
Mako.
groceries.
But like, you don't. It's like shopping in Costco. It's like I like going after like the first 3 samples, but if I'm there on a Sunday and like at sample number 18, I'm like, bro, I'm done. Like,
There's only so many samples you can take.
It's a good time. But, oof. Yeah. Anyway, our first match will be Zones Mako. Going into it, the double spotting comp can actually go phenomenally hard here out of the side from In Control. So I'm very, very, very interested to see if they can roll forward in that. Counter picking, it will be very important, in my opinion, for Wipeout Punks to not take In Control to maps that the spotlings can have good lines of sight. You want them to have to be crammed in tight corners. Unfortunately, there aren't too many maps that allow for that.
No, not here on Splatoon 3. But what I find interesting between the two Splatlings is that both of them have that opportunity to go and be a bit more close range. Obviously, Nautilus can store the charge, and the Ballpoint has that first early splat. But here we go, straight into the match. It's time for one of these two teams to lose a game in this tournament. Let's start off the grand finals.
Yo, you can't say that, because we're gonna have like find a way to draw a game. Judd's gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna reprogram the game so there's actually a draw animation for once. But anyway, here we go. The Inkjets are able to find at least one spot there. 5th gen is gone. Nico's going to try and stay alive on this low ground, but Captain Happy, they have called him out. Captain Happy's going to be dropping for that. Have to watch out for that Wiper on that low ground. They're going to have the rest of the teammates find and sniff out this Wiper. How much can Nico get done with that Ultra Stamp? Absolutely nothing.
Wipeout Punk's getting a very, very early lead here with the Inkjet going to come out as well. Going to push Red Sun out and not allow them to head into the zone. Captain Hacky doing a very good job at that, but both teams have a special at the ready. Krim gets the Inkjet. Nico gets the Ultra Stamp, and only one player goes down between two specials. That's a great defense from Wipeout Punks.
Yeah, and here goes a Jet. Quan's going to be able to find one. Nico's going to have to be pressured out. Weem's jump is in here, and it's good. Beam is gone. Beam says, peace, homies, I'm out. This zone, though, this zone is ticking down. 5th gen's got to stay alive. We see Nico down on that far right side. Wipeout Punks, if they can just hold on for a little bit longer, if they can survive this Inkjet shot, this could be insane for them. But they go down. Weem's the only one in zone, and the rest of Wipeout Punks are retreating for the hills. Push to 16, though, on zones on Mako. That's a really good way to open it up.
It's a great way to start and a great decision for them to all back out rather than just get splattered. It allows them to keep those specials and that tri-strike in there as well. Without that retreat, that tri-strike would have been a few more seconds away, and it has allowed them to regain control of the zone, or only giving 40 points away to Red Sun, which is a great position for Wipeout Punks to be in right now.
And Weem's going to be able to pop their Zuko, but they get shut down relatively quickly there. We're going to see both teams trying to find their way out, but Wipeout Punks, they can't find anything. They got splattered out here. This penalty is going to be ticking really far down and going to be expiring. Here goes an Inkjet out. Can it find Nico? Nico's able to find one with their ult stamp before going down in training scenario. Those tri-strikes are out on his own. Can they find anything? No. They won't be able to neutralize it. They'll be able to neutralize it for just a little bit of time. We're going to be seeing another Inkjet coming out from Wipeout Punks. It is able to find something, but Beam's able to get some assistance there on to this high ground. This penalty needs to be applied for Wipeout Punks if they want to stay in it. But when you lose your splash like that, it's going to be really difficult to paint the zone. Another Inkjet's out from Krim. The Inkjets are going around left, right, and center. Wipeout Punks are just trying to survive here against all this. Weem's trying to find a way out, but they can't. Again, this is difficult. The zone lead will be swapping over momentarily, and this game could be over in seconds.
It could be. The tri-strike is going to try and reduce that. No, they lose control. They've got it sent it into neutral, but with 3 players down, make that a wipeout. Wipeout Punks just get wiped out as Red Sun takes the first game of the set, and Wipeout takes their first loss of the tournament.
My goodness, it was not pretty for Red Sun. They had to fight and scrap their way to victory. But as soon as they were able to relatively get control at 16, they never fully gave up the zone area. They always had members alive. They always had space around it so they could have jumps back in. So even if they gave it up for a little bit of time and had a penalty applied, they never had to come out of their spawn after that point cap at 16. And on zones, if you can't get all the members like out of the area, then those super jumps will come back in, especially with a tacticooler team. The tacticooler team will just keep respawning like zombies, almost like that's why it's zombie comp. But they're not really truly running the real zombie comp.
No, you just pure quick respawn would be
no Tetris, no wipe. There's a wiper. No QR until the cows start flying.
quad tacticooler.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, everybody! Can you believe it? We are going to Inkblot Tower Control for Game 2. Zones make on Inkblot Tower Control. Who had that on the bingo card?
I've never seen this counterpicked in a tournament ever. What are you talking about?
I know, bro. Like, I would have thought they would have gone somewhere like a little bit smarter. Maybe we could have gone to Moray Towers. That could have been something. Maybe the Reef, Arch and Underpass. Maybe Ruins of Arc
Anything else?
Polaris. The Table Turf map, or like the final battle from Splatoon 1, that area. Or the training room
From
Sheldon's training
Splatoon
room.
1.
Yeah, the final boss from Splatoon. That one. That area is cool. The coolest one. I'm not gonna spoil Splatoon 3's because like it's not been a year yet. You can't spoil single player until then. Anyway, real talk.
What is there to talk about this map that hasn't already been discussed in literally every other tournament in this scene?
Hey, somebody might be new here. We
know
might have to
this
say
map.
something.
You know this map inside and out. It is why it's a fan favorite, because if you are competitive in this scene, you just have to know this map mode.
Yep. Okay, Bowling, you're here. You're our streamer. You know what's going on here. Double Inkjet though is actually phenomenal here. And Carbon works well here. So it's a smarter counterpick than just what we think it is at the beginning. It actually has a little bit more thought in it because it works well for their team composition on the side of Wipeout Punks. Not just everybody's fan favorite tower control map, pick favorite tower control map. It's a little bit more IQ power used.
Yeah, definitely. Especially from that Carbon. Carbon, you really need to get close and personal just to get those splats. And now John stuck in a pretty precarious position, stuck between 3 players, manages to jump out of a few meters, but they still manage to get alive. Chrono gets that splat onto Krim there, and now Wipeout Punks, as we saw in the first game, they do get that first push going. But even if that first push is incredible, they need to keep on maintaining it. They need to just have and maintain control over what they get.
Yeah, this is going to be an Ultra Step coming out, but it's going to get punished by Weem's Carbon. That is really good. Double Inkjets are back. They're here. They're ready to go. One goes down, but that's okay because you got a follow-up of Weem on that Carbon. You're going to be able to see Beam over by that Tacticooler. Tri-Strikes are out as well. Wipeout Punks. This counterpick is proving to be a lot more than just the average Joe. I said it once. I'll say it twice. Second checkpoint gone. Weem is gone as well. Crim's going to be coming from the high ground. Donut is going to be on that low ground, trying to find some splats. The Beam's running them down. Nico's able to find some space into mid, but they're going to have to watch out because these Inkjets are out and the Inkjets are ready.
And now we're pretty much in a mirror scenario of what we had in game 1. We saw Wipeout Punks get all the way up to pretty much the same position, 30 points remaining, and then Red Sun took control of this map. And now we're seeing a similar scenario here, but this time Red Sun has now gone 2 players down. Wipeout Punks, they haven't lost their footing as badly, and now they've regained control. They're regaining possession, and now they're trying to continue their push here on Inkblot Art Academy.
Yeah, and there's those double jets. Double jets again. We gotta watch out for Nico. Focus on where Nico's going. Nico's going for another little flank, but I think they know it this time. Weem's gonna be up here, and yeah, they sniff it out. They are able to shut down Nico in that backline, who was trying to go for another one of those sneaky plays. Grim's gonna have to watch out for Weem. Weem's coming in. Inkjet is out. Weem won't be able to hit that from that range. And both Wipeout Pumps, Inkjet weapons will have to retreat and try and stay alive with their special charge that they have accrued.
What I'm really liking to see here is how good Wipeout Punks seems to be at noticing when they're kind of getting on the back foot and pulling out. They pull out really quickly when they're starting to see that they're in a bit of a precarious situation, and that allows them to get back into mid and not lose as much. As we keep on seeing, they're losing control, sure, but they're going straight back to the tower. They're gaining control straight away, and that's a really good thing to see here.
Yeah, in control. Red Sun. Time to go. They've got their advantage now. They're going to have to try and find some spot shots down with this Inkjet through the rain cloud. He's going to be able to find out Weem and the rest of Wipeout Punks are forced so much further back. The punishing play of in control Red Sun is proving to be a little bit too much, as the second checkpoint is under contestation. Hasn't been really truly tested. We have a Tacticooler here, but the double jets are out. The double jets are ready. Wipeout Punks are trying to find the spots that they need. They want to get these spots, so there is no way for In Control to hold control of this mid.
No, and now it's just getting that bit of scrap fight in the mid. This both teams trying to eye each other off, trying to find those spots. Pretty neutral on the field. The Tri-Strikes is going to come out, try and disperse a few. The Carbon does go down on the side of Wipeout Punks. Jen here does have that Inkstorm at the ready. Tactical are out. Inkjet out. Their specials are all out on the side of Red Sun. Plus, they have another one at the ready. And now Red Sun, they're climbing towards that second checkpoint. But the Wipeout Punks just being able to nail that solid defense as Weem just slam banks onto that NZAP.
Yeah, and Nico is going to have to try and stay alive. Crim's able to get the shots down, and they got Captain Happy down. They're going to go for a 2-1 trade. That is big. Nico up on this bats area. The second checkpoint is ticking down really, really quickly. The spots are coming out, and Weem is on that tower, using the Tri-Strike to their advantage. They're able to find at least some space, forcing Nico into a terrible spot in the low ground. This is time for Wipeout Punks to hold a stellar defense. This is time for them to be able to take a game off of In Control. But In Control, they have the players alive, and there's 2 down to Nico Stamp. Nico Stamp is going again. Weem is looking for the opportunity, but they get yeeted out. The Ultra Stamp shuts them down. There needs to be a way for Wipeout Punks to find a way to stop this tower. Crim is just riding it, and they're going to be able to ride it. Tied at one point, and they took the lead. In Control took the lead by 1 little point. No one was on it. The tower slide. It drifts its way to victory.
Slide into those DMs, Tower. It takes the game for Red Sun, sending it to 2-0. So close, yet so far, as Red Sun is now at tournament point.
Sometimes I love the tower drift, and sometimes I hate it. As a commentator, it was entertaining to watch it as all living heck, but you always cheer for the series to go longer. And the tower drifted. Crimson Shadows was able to slide it past, just because his name isn't just Crimson, that Shadows slid into the next game. That second game, that shadowy force came from the low ground. But yeah, my goodness. There's no money back here, sir. You cannot have your money back. We don't pay you enough. Nobody gets paid enough. Anyway, DJam, looking in for another counter pick. I don't want us to go back to Tower Control Inkblood Art Academy, but in the rule book, it says that we are allowed to go back to Tower Control Inkblood Art Academy because Wipeout Punks didn't win it.
If they don't, I would expect to see something in a similar format. Something... I'm actually kind of expecting to see maybe a Rainmaker because of how quickly you can push the Rainmaker, because that really seems to be what Wipeout Punks favor. Their name, they have the Wipeout. They obviously like to get that early push, try and get that initial Wipeout, and Splatoon Tsunami Ruins doesn't exactly fit that bill.
I guess Wipeout Punks was watching a stream and saw how In Control got pushed on Umami Zones. I like it for the double jet. It gives them mobility in the sky and a lot of free roam. They don't have to bump into any rooftops, any signs, any beams, or any Wahoo World poles that are just in the middle of zone for some reason. Yet standing on top of the Wahoo World pole with your inkjet is actually really good because it puts you up really high. Anyway, side note. I don't know. I like it, but I'm worried because you're gonna if Wipeout Punks need the knockout because they haven't had that killer instant. They've taken it to 16. They've taken it to 33. But Red Sun has whittled their way back to take both games 1 and 2. They have to end it before we get to that final minute mark.
What we're going to be seeing as into this match is really the push to push. The only way these two teams are going to get this solidity is that they push right up into their faces. And from seeing how both of these teams play, that is what we're looking for. And looking at these comps coming to see the ball point coming out from Wipeout Punks, and then Ballpoint on both sides. Yeah, that's what these teams are looking for here.
They've had that 5th gen's the only real change that's coming to my mind. Going from that Nautilus to the Tetras. And we also have Nico swapping over to the Tenna Missiles Wiper. That is a stronger pick for zones. Nico's able to go in, find one, but will be taken out by the Neo Splash. Jonas gotta watch out because 5th gen over there on those Tetras are gonna be resetting their way to try and find some space, but they won't be able to find any spots. They're still behind them. Wipeout Punks, they are aware. They are aware now that 5th gen is behind them. They will be able to take one out in a trading scenario, but the zone control and the small lead, is in favor of Wipeout Punks.
Indeed, and now Captain Happy just backing off a bit. They're seeing their 2 players down. They see the Inkjet is out, and now they're backing off as they send off an Inkjet in their own return. And now they're looking to get some picks. They're looking to get some splats. They're looking just to get some control, and sending Red Sun 2 players down. That is the control. Make that 3 that they were looking for as zone is flipped back into their favor.
Yeah, 5th gen's gonna be able to get punished here. Wipeout Punks, they got the spots on the 2 members of In Control that come back continuously. The ones that respawn. So those are, as much as you want to get those, you need to get those spots on those members. Truly, if you want to be able to have a lot of control taken away from Red Sun, you have to be able to find Krim. You have to be able to find B.
You need to find those players, and now Krim saying you need to find me. How about I have my ink find you? And getting those splats, and now Red Sun just turning the table straight back at Wipeout Punks. But Wipeout Punks not going down without a fight. Zone goes into neutral. Quano
this could be big.
has the Inkjet, gets the splat onto Krim. And now Zone still there fighting for neutral, and they're fighting for control. 2 players down on Red Sun, make that 3 as Wipeout Punks gain control again and have not yet lost lead.
No, they haven't, but they need to get this a little bit lower, because we know as soon as Red Sun has that one push where they can get locked up and set up, this could be over. This has to be a big Weem Zuka. Not able to find anything, just forces some of the members of Red Sun back. These missiles are going to be out. Here goes, oh my goodness, the Tenna missiles! For your Inkjet, Captain Happy's Inkjet into the Tenna missiles in the sky. Those bottles have an active hitbox, and you can't run into those. They're like mines in the sky.
Mines in the sky as 3 players go down on Wipeout Punks, and Red Sun takes control again. But Wipeout Punks, they did not lose as much control. They still have possession of their area, and now 2 players down a piece. Quano has the Inkjet. Nico providing some jumps, but Quano not able to get those splats there as the control is still in Red Sun's favor. The Tenna missiles come out from Nico, and now they're looking to find some picks, looking to find some splats, and they just can't seem to find the players.
We've got 2! We've got 3! Oh, Jonah got that one. That was an assist. There's no way the Carbon just able to walk in your backline, casually pull 2, and then pull a Zuka out in front of your face and shoot you with it. That is not a human Squid Kid interaction.
Well, that's one way to change the tables on you. Have down 3 members, and now when it was Red Sun seeming like they had such a straight control, Wipeout Punks returning the favor, clearing their penalty and getting more points on the board. Inkjet, Tri-Strike, specials all around, and players going down, 2 down, and Wipeout Punks are pushing further and further.
5th gen's gonna run in there, gonna be able to neutralize it for a second, but they needed the team to hit the other zone. And Wipeout Punks, they take a game off of Red Sun. My goodness, what a way to make this series extend past game 3. Holy moly.
Wow, and there we go. Just when you thought that Red Sun might be able to take an entire tournament without losing a game, Wipeout Punks get the wipeout, get the KO, and say, Red Sun, not today.
But isn't today tomorrow for you?
Rule of thumb, Genie.
I know.
Don't talk about time zones.
I know.
That's when your head just goes insane, like mine is right now.
Yeah. No. As much as I'm like, yeah, everybody, we might see a game 5 because I'm a commentator. I always cheer for game 5. Then I want the best team to win. That's commentator thing. Don't be biased. Cheer for everybody. And Climb with Scorch, my favorite map. Don't get distracted by things that you like. Ooh, squirrel. Cheer for game 5. That's it. We gotta watch out because Wipeout Punks, they're the ones that have to go up against 2 counter picks from Red Sun. 2 counter picks. That's what happens when the tower slide a little bit too far in overtime. Because this Umami game could have been game 4, and we would be seeing ourselves in a game 5. But Scorch, Clamblet Scorch, DJM, do you like this map as much as I do?
I like it, yet also not like it at the same time. It's such a interesting map in that the only way to flank is great. But the fact that there is a flank is also great as we dive into Game 4 of the Grand Finals today. And, Genie, what can you tell us about these comps?
I can tell you that Ballpoint reigns supreme on this map. Heavy Spotlight also reigns pretty strong here. It loses to Ballpoint, so seeing 2 Ballpoints here is good. Inkjet's great. Busy Bomb's good. Grading, being able to take that, have control, always a good time. Not expecting anything different, but we do see that 5th Gen will be swapping back to that Nautilus, able to utilize that. It's the Spotlight though that has the least amount of effort on grading. That's good spots though from Wipeout Punks, so able to get 2 advantage. But I believe there was a Tacticular alive. Yeah, there was. So those members of Red Sun are back and ready to fight again.
Getting that quick respawn is great at getting back into the field. Nico getting 1 splat, getting 2 splats, getting a assist. We can cap that as 3. As Beam gets the football in, getting Red Sun that early lead, showing this is why we counterpicked to Scorch Gorge Clams.
Yeah, Scorch Gorge Clam for this team. Double spotting, be able to get those controls that they need. They have the spacing, they have the clams. Punish it down to 44 off your opening push. That is really strong. They are going to be falling, but the Tacticular was ready. I believe. Oh no, that was a quick respawn. That's why Nico goes back so soon and so fast. Beam's going to have to stay alive, but Nico's on the high ground. Nico's not able to get anything with that. I for sure saw the splash is gone.
And now, Wipeout Punks, they have the power clam, but they have the tri-strike, and they have the momentum, but are they able to sink it in? The clam goes in, but they need to get all the way down to 43 if they want to take the lead, but they've got so much control of the basket. They're just shooting those clams in, but they've also got that pity clam if they need it as well, but Red Sun just being able to take control back for them, but Wipeout Punk's not really losing any members there. And just, they've got this control of mid. They've got control. They've got clams. And it's just very much both teams just trying to scope each other out, trying to find where can we go in, where can we get these splats, where can we go.
Yeah, and Weem's going to be able to go in with those tri-strikes. That's huge. Please don't fall down that suction bomb on that wall. No, they won't. This is good. Gueno's going to have that inkjet. They're going to throw their clams to their teammates so they'll be able to get some more in. Nico has to watch out. They're going to be punished here by the jet. No, they're not. Captain Happy has to watch out for their back. The lead will be swapping in a Wipeout Punk's favor. This is good for them. They want to force this game 5. Beam is still in zone, trying to get around backside. More clams are going in for Wipeout Punks. This is good for them. They got it down to 32, but now it's time to stay alive. Maybe call that a good push. Weem, not done here though. You're gonna find Nico in a trading scenario. That is a-okay.
That is a great spot. Although unfortunately losing that the Trizuka there is gonna put them in a little bit of a disadvantage there. But now Gen just trying to regain turf, regain control, because that is the aim of the game here. Get that turf control. You know where these clams are. You have domination of the field. Weem now has that Trizuka, just trying to find some picks. Has 1 shot left, gets the splat onto Nico, and now Wipeout Punks looking to push forward. Weem looking to push forward into their faces as they go further and further in. Tri-strikes abound.
Yeah, this is huge for them. They're going to be able to get their splash in there as well. Weem finds another splat going off with the carbon. They're going to have a power clam able to dunk that in all the way down to 14. This is huge for Wipeout Punks. They got some more clams to their name. They're going to need to find some more. Weem's got them. Weem's got those clams throwing 1, 2. Not able to get it as far. Just 3 more clams. That's all that Wipeout Punks needs.
Happy.
Happy, but there's no way. In control, they have 4 members. They're all ready to defend this basket. That is massive. a power clam and 4 more in this last minute will solidify a game 5 for Wipeout Punks. But Red Sun, they have everything to their name now.
They have everything. They have 18 clams at the ready, 21 as well as a pity clam. They've got so much momentum to be able to gain control of that basket. But the Inkjet is going to shut them down as they Quimo just looking to get some more splats, looking to spot those players of Red Sun and looking to shut them down.
Yeah, that's 2 gone though from Wipeout Punks. Like that 3, just Weem. Where's Weem gonna go? Weem's gonna try and live. They're gonna have to stay alive. This Zuka has to be everything. It will have to be what shuts down Red Sun. They have the Technicooler ready. They're going for this goal. 1 goes down to the Zuka. That is a massive splat. They're gonna have a jet. Crim's jet is gonna go Super Saiyan here if they're gonna need a way to go in. Nigo has an Ultra Stamp. It's gonna go run in. It's gonna get shut down. Trading scenarios back and forth. Both teams. Can In Control get more clams? They have to find clams. 5th Gen has it, but the basket will close and Wipeout Punks force a game 5.
Oh, ho, ho. Now, here we are. It is game 5. It is anyone's game to win this tournament. Both Wipeout Punks and Red Sun have now both won and lost to the same amount of games, and it all comes down to this. But Red Sun, they do have the slight advantage here in that they get to get that counter pick.
It cannot be tower control because they won tower control. It cannot be Rainmaker because, can't be spot zones because they won spot zones. We are looking at either a Clam Blitz, run it back, go to the same mode again, or a Rainmaker game 5. And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, I don't want to ever face against 2 Inkjets in a Rainmaker game. Because at any point in time, if you're in the losing scenario, you will most likely just have death from above come at you. So, I feel like we could go back to clams. I'm not 100% sure here, DJM. This pick for In Control, they gotta take their time and they gotta calculate a good game plan.
It's not an easy decision to make. So, looking just at the maps here, we're seeing that Red Sun, they've won the maps that are a little bit narrower compared to Wipeout Punks, because Unami Ruins very much open. Scorch Gorge. It's a gorge. It's open. So, what we're probably going to see out of Red Sun here is probably Clam Blitz on a stage which has that bit more cover, has a bit more areas for them to just sneak in and get control. But
yeah, they can't go back. So the other thing, they can't go back to Mako. Clam Blitz Mako, you can't go to a map that you've already won. So we can't go back to Inkbot or Mako. So you're looking at Museum, Manta, or rerun Scorch if we want to go the Clam Blitz route. The other, if they want to go to Rainmaker, it's Manta, Museum, Scorch, or Undertow, and it's gonna be Clam Blitz Museum.
And that fits the bill. It's not. Yep. It's still obviously quite open in the mid, but having the rotating tower in the middle is still gonna provide that little bit of cover, as well as the 2 walls on the side. Does provide that bit of extra cover there for Red Sun, but it's still open, which gives Wipeout Punks that kind of momentum that they've been taking on with those last 2 games. So both teams here, they have their cookies to pick from. They have their chocolate chips. It's just who will take it out of the oven first.
I love how you said chocolate chips when you're not picking mint chocolate chip, bro. You're picking vanilla, bro. Gotta pick Big Man. Team Big Man all the way.
You're really gonna call me out here, mate.
Absolutely.
It's game 5.
I don't care if it's game 5. I gotta tell you that your opinion is not as valid as it could have been. But it's still valid. Oh, hold up. It's just gonna be going over to the 52 gal. Big change-ups here.
Oh, 52 gal. Very much a meta pick in the scene right now. Being able to pick that wall and have that killer whale to come out. But the carbon goes straight down on the side of Wipeout Punks. So Red Sun, they have that bit of early man down to get that initial push going. And now BitGen getting that splat onto John, getting that splat onto Captain Happy. And now Weem just trying to get some more splats, but no, with the Nova, the one left, that Power Clam is going to go straight into the basket, giving Red Sun a very early lead.
Yes, 71 isn't massive, but it is something. We're going to see Krem on the high ground. They do have some more clams, not going to be able to throw all of them in. All the way down to 68, pretty good. 60, 55, 53, 50, good. Starling lead, let's keep going down. Somehow, Red Sun, all the way down to 41. They have very few members left, but that's 41 off your opening push. So much better than that opening 71 that they had. A crazy start.
Sort of pull up Nico from before, just being able to maintain such close relation with being in the enemy spot and taking out players and just be able to keep that momentum allowed them to get all the way down to 41 points, and now has another Ultra Stamp at the ready, but they have the Inkjet in retaliation. Nico not going to be able to get any picks there, as now backed into a corner with all three members looking to shoot them down.
Yeah, Weem on this low ground, really close to that Zuka. Carbon loves its burst bomb, and the Zuka is a bonus. The Zuka trying to find some splats, but taken out relatively easily by Nico and the help of Crim's Inkjet from that high ground. Wipeout Punks, they're scrambling right now. This is the first time in, I feel like, the entire series where they haven't started the game off with that massive, big lead.
Indeed, and now they're just trying to find the double Inkjet. Isn't really going to do much for them this time, but they're still trying to get those specials. They're still trying to get momentum, but now they don't have much specials on the field as they're looking to push towards that basket, which is not exactly the position they want to be in. On the meantime, Red Sun, they've got 3 specials.
Yeah, there comes a killer whale. That's going to put a lot of pressure down. Weem is going to have to find a lot. 1 shot gone, 2 shots gone. The third is going to be a lottery, and no, won't be able to find anything. Beam's going to have to try and stay alive, but walks right into the tri-strike. There's no way they're going to dodge the Zuka, or sorry, the Inkjet and that tri-strike. More Inkjets are out, both sides. Nico has that Ultra Stamp at the ready. Will they be punished? No, I think they'll be able to find some spots here on this low ground. Can they find the Nova? Yes, they will. They will trade with another member of Wipeout Punks. So much going on in the low ground as Weem falls again. In control, and have the power clams ready to look for the onslaught. Wipeout Punks, they're here, and they're ready for the defensive posture.
They're getting ready. The tri-strikes comes out. Is just going to block that narrow walkway up. But Nico is going to come up. The ink thing comes up. And now 2
Weem.
power clams go in, clearing that penalty, going all the way down to 27. And more clams are coming up.
This could be the game.
Nico comes in.
They've got the clams.
2-1 tournament is theirs.
What a way to close it out. Red Sun, in control Red Sun, coming out. They undefeated throughout the entire tournament. They had the games. They had it all the way up to the 2-0 lead. Slipping up just a little bit, getting forced into a game 5, the come up clutch on this Museum Climbers game. They had the clams, they had the specials, and they got the splats when they needed them most. Using that killer whale and the torpedo with Nico's Ultra Stamp proved to be just too much, and that last fadeaway shot coming out of Crim's Inkjet on that ballpoint, taking out the opposing member in Captain Happy. And Red Sun coming in as the favorites, getting pushed in the end by Wipeout Punks, but will be crowned SAC Season 7 Tournament 2 champions and booking themselves a free pass into our playoffs.
Oh, what a tournament going in. It's so unbelievable to me that both of these teams went the entire day without losing a single game. And it's only fitting that it went down to game 5 to end off the grand finals. What a day.
Yeah, that was so much fun to watch and be a part of today. And honestly, Red Sun have been killing it. They've been killing it in pretty much any tournament that they touch. I can't remember. It's been at least a month since they've had a that they've had a tournament where they didn't do as well as they were predicted to do. And yeah, oh, and you're right. Red Sun, I'm not 100% sure on that fact, but I know Red Sun, they've come in here and they've done well in SEC in the playoffs previously. But with that, DJM, we are going to be ending off our stream here. So where can the lovely people find you?
Well, if they do want to find me, I am just on Twitter at DJM987 because someone took DJM98 from me. Grr. And I'm also on Twitch at just the normal DJM98. Where can the people find you, Genie?
They can find me on another Twitch stream later today, commentating a tournament, or they can find me at Genie7. That is GEENIE7 _ on Twitter. No underscore on all other socials. If you would like to contact me for doing tournaments, I am available. Please contact me there. I would love to commentate your tournament.
You're handing out your resume here.
Yeah. Please do it. Especially you, Nintendo. Call me.
Oh,
I have a green screen now. I finally got a green screen for my birthday. So like.
Ooh, nice job. You're
Gonna-
in the club. Although I never use mine.
Well, I have to use for the Nintendo North America stuff. So hopefully one day.
I see. Also, huge thank you to Boing for running the stream for all of the tournament today, going for a little bit longer than myself. So you can find them as well.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
I believe we are going to be rating someone. Let me just check the TO chat. No, we are not rating anyone. So everybody, enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to check out under the tab, the Splatoon tab, other great Splatoon streamers who are streaming stuff. I know there's many of them out there, so don't be afraid to watch their stuff. With that, IPL will see you on. No, they won't see you. Yes, they won't see you. They won't see you for SOS because this is the fourth Saturday.
I feel like you're picking the flowers off the side. Like now you see me, now you don't. Now you see me, oh you don't. Now you see me, now you don't. Goodbye, everyone. This has been Sack.
Yo. Bye.